was listening to it earlier and it was loud as fuck. And I don't know how to like change that volume specifically.
I turned it down to 50%. I don't even know what to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, I'm almost done with this song anyway. Love Social Distortion.
Social distancing.
Do all the songs have that like outrun background?
No, I put that in.
Oh, really?
You choose your own background. You can actually put in MP4s and play video.
Okay.
I fucked it up.
Guys, I have a fuck ton of Nintendo 64 cartridges, and I don't know why.
Whenever I start playing Clone Hero, I'm gonna need you to send me that background so I can use it because it looks fucking awesome.
It was on their Discord. Somebody.
Okay.
Man, I have no good fucking games for Commodore.
Oh God, this is a good song. I've literally downloaded probably like 50 gigabytes of songs.
What is this? 2000?
Do you download that from the Discord or what?
No, the Reddit has links to like Google Docs that have all the tracks.
Okay.
Like the charting.
Okay.
I have Namco Museum for the Game Boy Advance. I must have stolen that from somebody. I would never have fucking bought that game.
Maybe you got it as a gift though.
No, actually, I remember what happened. I purchased a Game Boy Advance game from the internet, and they were like, well, we got to throw this in. It was Let's Ride, Sunshine Stables, and Namco Museum were both included. And I was like, I don't fucking want those. And
Is Namco Museum like a bunch of old arcade games?
Yeah.
Dude, I'd play that.
And honestly, like, I'm looking at all these games. I have no idea what the fuck game it was that I bought that would have come with this shit. What is that? Just a container. Here we go. Here's a couple more games that might be it. Zelda Oracles, and I already know these are mine from a long time ago. I'm a feminist because the first game I ever got from my Game Boy Advance was Miss Pac-Man. So, just want to throw that out there.
All right, boys, I am going to move my microphone and let's get some levels.
I'm a feminist because the only board game I play is Miss Monopoly.
Oh, no. Oh, and this was another one that came. I can't remember what. No. Wait a minute. Okay. Y'all.
Stop using your hate speech.
What?
You can't say y'all.
Y'all is one of the best contributions the South has made to language.
Yep.
Y'all.
We need a collective gender neutral address. Like y'all is perfect for that.
Y'all and then saying Coke instead of soda.
No, that's the bad one that they did.
We just say what kind of Coke.
That's the worst thing the South has ever done to language.
I've never heard anyone say that. And I've lived in the South. Well, I've lived in the Ozarks.
I think it's like a Georgia thing.
Pretty much.
Because that's where Coke is from.
Coke Industries.
Yeah.
All right.
John
talking at his distance from his microphone, and then Matt.
TJ's camera's frozen for me. This is my sound check.
TJ's camera is fixed for me, and this is Spanky's sound check.
TJ? Is TJ not there?
My internet's fucking up, but get my audio or whatever.
TJ's frozen again? No, his eyes are blinking. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Your audio's fine. Hey, Matt, talk at the same time as me. I want to hear what it sounds like when two people talk at the same time. So I'm going to keep talking.
I am the very model of a modern major general.
I'm just talking, and they were going to talk, and I'm going to be talking.
Wow, you're really good at Gilbert and Sullivan.
Is that different than the way it was working before?
I don't know.
I am the very modern of a modern major general. I'm
It still sounds like it's ducking you out when I talk,
It does, yeah.
but I don't know. It sounds fine. I'll just talk over you at all
You
times.
know, I haven't edited.
So you know, like,
I just want to make sure that this works. I don't want to record another episode and have it sound like shit.
I don't know. If PewDiePie was really a, quote, racist, would he have so many subscribers?
How can he be racist? He's not even an American.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
That reminds me of that.
But it's
line,
making me
I have a
uncomfortable.
lesbian. Thought you were American.
That is a good one. What is it? What do I want? Oh wait, no, I can just mute you guys and just listen to the YouTube video of the last one, see if it
I
sounds
feel
like
like muting us is a great idea for all of our podcast listeners as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're subscribed to this podcast, you can, like, mute us, and you'll probably have a way better time.
This podcast is gonna suck because I don't have any beer.
I don't either. So, you know, I'll just tell the story on the podcast. Considering we've already decided that it's going to suck, I might as well save literally the only content I have to contribute for the podcast. Yeah.
Do
just
do
listening to
do
previous
do do
so
do 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 do.
Awesome. I have now put all that shit that I took out back in a clean way. I voted. I'm going to put this I voted pin on the sticker that I found. I think this was one of the stickers when I voted for Bernie.
Yeah, that
Actually,
worked
this
out great.
This might have been the fucking Hillary Clinton one. Because actually, I think it is because... Hold on. My roommate got me a book
is that
when I fucking lived with him.
it handles the audio better or worse.
So I have this fucking Bernie Sanders book
Only listen
that
to it
my
for
roommate got me. And it has...
It's
and it
the
has
last
two,
chapter. It failed.
So it has 2 I voted stickers in it, one from 2016 and one from 2020. And now I can just burn the motherfucker because it didn't work.
No.
I don't know if I'm crazy.
Why?
I wonder if it does sound worse when we're doing it this way. I gotta find a part where we talk over each other.
I mean, the other
All right,
the other way we did it ducked you out too.
All right, I'm back. Matt, do you think there's a possibility that it would sound, like the audio's being handled differently?
I doubt it.
It's hard to tell. I feel like it sounded better before, but that just may have been...
No, because it was definitely ducking. Since I'm recording on my end, whenever I'm talking over any of you guys, it'll like bring you guys down.
Okay. I'll have to edit it, and then once I've edited
Since Matt is
it,
the
it doesn't
person
sound terrible.
If I talk over you, it won't sound bad. But if Matt talks over you, it'll sound bad.
Maybe that's it.
No, because just then you were both talking at the same time, and it I think John's came through more, and it brought you down.
It's Pride Month. Why the fuck did John's come through more?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Because he's got that white pride. That's why he joins mega guilds.
There's a straight pride flag, and it proves every stereotype about how gays have better style than straight people.
All right. Are we ready to start?
Yeah, I deleted shit off my phone and I restarted it. We should be good.
I think that it sounds the same between the two. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'll edit it. It definitely didn't sound bad listening to previous weeks.
I think the audio is the same, but the video is better.
Okay. That's possible. Regardless of the situation, I think we're ready to start. So I don't even have a plan of what to talk about because I think we got a lot to talk about. A lot has happened. So
Yeah, we can talk about that PlayStation shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched.
All right, there we go. Now I can see everybody's
PC
faces.
gaming show went on today too.
Oh yeah, and I didn't watch any of it.
Y'all
I
see
can look
that
at the-
PlayStation shit? Y'all see that PlayStation 5?
Yeah, it's
I might have to
trafficking.
buy that Persona 4.
More like
Golden.
PlayStation 5 gum is what their reveal thing looks like.
Put that on the podcast.
All right, you ready?
How it feels to chew
Bit of Persona
PlayStation
stuff.
5
All
gum.
right, everyone, silencio. Here we go. Whoa! Oh wait, what number is this?
396, I think.
You're right. It
Or
is
496 or 3. Yeah, 396.
Wait, let me just look at.
420.
Okay,
Oh man, can we have Adam back for episode 420?
We have to. 394.
I mean, that's the only thing Adam talks about anymore is how he does smoke weed. So
All right, here we go. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 396. I'm your host, as always, John Danger, joined by my co-hosts.
Matt Haig. Silence.
DJ Matt.
and there's some other ones probably that could introduce themselves.
You guys really fucked up, huh? You're off the show.
I am the co-host, like the guest co-host.
Guest co-host.
So I have to go last. I
Yeah.
am always the guest.
It's
And
TJ.
TJ didn't go.
Is TJ frozen again, or is he just trying to duck us out?
Must be because I said something.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Mm.
But now we heard that, so TJ is just tilted because of his PC situation.
Yeah.
His laptop.
Are we going to
Oh,
redo
I
that intro or just keep rolling?
Well, let's just keep rolling. Huh?
Okay.
I mean,
Table flip.
Uh-huh. All right. Wait, TJ, were you saying something there? It was silent for a minute, so I just assumed you were talking.
Oh yeah, that's it. He's delayed like 8 seconds from us.
Is he really?
Yeah.
He's nodding his head. TJ, what's the last word that I just said? Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
It's just a huge delay.
Why is that happening?
What the fuck? That's never happened before.
TJ, how come that's happening?
How come? You have to talk though, because then we don't know if you're delayed. What the delay is. All right, TJ, I'm gonna stop talking and then you start talking as soon as I'm done.
Okay.
That wasn't too bad.
It went away that time.
It seems to be variable. It is not a constant delay. It
Because he's in
sometimes
the UP and they have a different time dilation thing going on up
Yeah.
there.
It's that damn Corona 5G.
Yeah.
it's the coronavirus 5G. You guys ever played any video games?
That
before?
Wuhan 5G.
I need you to not say that, please.
Do you know who does say that?
Who?
The president of the United States of America.
Oh no. Oh, somebody you were yelling about earlier.
Oh yeah, fuck Lance. By the way,
Lance too.
Wait,
So
he's in the 5G conspiracy camp?
Oh, I don't
Probably.
think about that. I don't know.
I mean, like at this point, like he just fucking gets his shit straight from the truck. So apparently, y'all,
I was
I'm
talking about
Lance Bass.
Lance Bass, yeah.
okay.
We all know Lance Bass. Used to
Guys,
be on the
I
podcast.
really don't want to shade Lance Bass. He might be fine.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to Wikipedia search Lance Bass to see if he's a piece of shit.
Game,
Lance
but
Just Google Lance Bass controversy question mark.
Oh yeah, I should do that. Lance Bass,
Try to be
or better yet, Lance Bass allegations. Oh, you know what? Here we go. NSYNC members accused of being racist in suit by former tour manager, and this was published in the year 2003. So that has been stewing for a while.
Okay, but is there like, it says accused, is there like a result of that suit?
The tour manager, who is black, alleges that Timberlake once used the N-word with him, yelled, "You N-words ain't shit," He also claims the group increasingly used racial slurs and derogatory language toward him and other black members employed by the group, including the sound engineer and choreographer. It claims he was forced to travel on a different tour bus than the band because Lance Bass was embarrassed to have a black tour manager in front of his friends.
Wow.
What? That's fucking
So-
Oh,
crazy.
TJ had to duck out.
Yeah.
Lance Bass Mafia is going to come after him if he's part of this.
So in response to the allegations, that Johnny Wright said in a statement, "I'm saddened to hear, copy paste HR shit." It does not say if there was ever anything that was as a result of this. It says that the claims are for $10 million. But I don't know if it got settled or whatever came out of it. I feel like if NSYNC was like guilty of a racist, in court they were found guilty of like firing someone for being racist, then we would have known about it. Like I get that it was 2003, but like, come on, like if they settled out of court and like did it hush hush, then that makes sense that why we wouldn't know about it. But if they were found guilty, I feel like we would know.
Yeah. Maybe it's just all like, Finn, you're gonna have to fuck off. It's all just
Hey,
like,
don't make fun of our viewer, Finn.
Finn Wolfhard. We have two viewers. One of them has been an avid listener since 2012 and is in our Discord. The other one is Finn Wolfhard.
Oh, don't forget about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is also a listener.
Finn Wolfhard is actually in Matt's room. He keeps him as a pet.
He keeps trying to walk on my fucking keyboard.
Yeah,
God
what
damn
the
it,
fuck, Finn Wolfhard?
Just because you're rich doesn't mean you can go stand on my keyboard.
Okay,
I got Lance Bass news.
Is he will be 18 years old this December. So,
all right,
he's got to count down.
Write down on your calendars, boys.
Well, I just wanted to mention that because keeping a minor as a slave is probably a little bit worse than keeping an 18-year-old.
Keeping a minor as a slave is just being a parent.
Oh my god!
Make him do chores, you don't pay him.
This conversation has gone.
This is a really spicy episode.
I will say all parents are slave owners.
That's correct, but also
and pet owners. That's what PETA would say. PETA would definitely say that pet owners.
Wait, that all parents are pet owners, or that all?
No, that all pet owners are slave owners.
I used to.
Is it still slavery if they don't do shit?
I think I'm still blocked on Twitter by PETA.
I used to hate PETA because my agriculture advisor, who I may have talked about before, who was a shitbag, I was like super indoctrinated into like, oh my god, a teacher finally likes me for the first time in my life. I'm gonna be friends with him. Was like, fuck PETA and fuck the Democrats, basically. So those were my opinions for about 2.5 months during my freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
And later, I was like, that's stupid. I'm not straight. I should not be saying, fuck the Democrats.
Yeah, but for real, PETA's kind of shitty.
No, yeah, PETA sucks. Like, that was the thing where I was like, afterwards, after I realized that the guy was shitty, I realized that, like, oh, maybe his PETA views are acceptable, because they do.
Still blocked by PETA.
Oh, it's not showing me your stream. What's happening?
He also hated Oprah Winfrey.
Does that show up on Twitter? Or on Twitch?
Yeah, it does.
When I share a screen?
But it doesn't show up as your screen share. It shows up like you were streaming a game.
Oh, okay. Anyway. No, I'm still blocked by it. It's because I kept putting at PETA and then talking about how they run a bunch of dog kill shelters. And they euthanize a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
So they kind of suck.
They're huge fans of euthanasia.
Yeah,
big fans.
Because their thought is if a pet can't be free, then it should be dead.
Yeah,
it's a fucking insane way to think. Like PETA is against pet ownership, basically.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever played video games before?
No.
Do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the newest LGBTQ icon?
Oh, I can. Yeah. So I don't know anything
Nickelodeon's celebrating Pride with the LGBTQ plus community and their allies this month and every month, and they spoil the Legend of Korra here.
Well, don't spoil it for me.
Don't look up Nickelodeon's Twitter account if you don't want a
fine.
spoiler.
I go there every fucking day, but I guess I can't go there today.
Who the fuck is this weird guy?
Yeah, I saw that tweet too, and I was like, I don't know.
I guess SpongeBob is a Pride character.
And apparently he has been since 2005. Like the article people keep quoting right now because they're like, oh, they called SpongeBob gay. And the article everyone's quoting is like, no, he's actually asexual. And
yeah, he's definitely asexual.
Yeah.
here's the creator saying he's asexual in 2005.
That is an awesome thing. Like, SpongeBob's such a good character, too.
So I've only ever seen season 1 of SpongeBob and the movie. That's all like the first movie. I assume there's more now.
Yeah.
But that's it. I saw the first season. I thought it was funny. The one thing in it that I liked was Tom Kenny is in it as SpongeBob, and like I know that now people know Tom Kenny as mainly the voice of SpongeBob, but before that he was the voice of like other cartoons that I really like. So
you know what's even better about this is that I didn't even think about this, but it's so true. SpongeBob's an asexual icon because sea sponges are asexual.
Yes,
that's funny.
Like, duh. Although he has straight parents. He has a mom and dad.
This was in that article from 2000. Okay, sorry. I left the Twitter page clicking open. I'm not going to investigate it just yet, but one of the trending topics right now on my list is Minute Maid. And I feel like there's a story behind that, but I'm gonna put that one on ice for now. Basically, the guy who created SpongeBob,
Mr. Sponge.
Yeah. So he basically was like, because parents, I remember, especially where I'm at, like kids were not allowed to watch SpongeBob because it was gay devil worship.
Wait, really?
Really?
Yeah.
I'd never heard that.
Specifically for the episode where they adopt the clam and SpongeBob and parents.
Yeah.
There were lots of kids in my school who were not allowed to watch SpongeBob.
That's
because
hilarious.
Their parents were like, nope, that is gay devil worship. You cannot have
Man,
that.
the self sucks. You guys stop being that way.
That's like a really funny thing about being like that side of the like political spectrum. Like I have friends that are that way, and it's just like basically you're like not allowing yourself to watch and enjoy things that are good. You're like owning yourself. It's like, oh, I hate Marvel shit because that's like just so PC. I'm way into DC stuff, and it's like, so you just like the bad stuff then? Because you can't like the good stuff? Like it's just like
driving fucking a different Lance than Lance Bass right now.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is
it's full of like fuck trans people, and also I remember when DC Comics were good and way better than Marvel.
Yeah. So I just think it's really funny because it's just like this self-own of like, it's just like where it's like, okay, well, I can't listen to, because like a lot of celebrities are super liberal, so they'll come out with stuff, and then it's just like, well, all this stuff I used to like and enjoy, now I can't on principle because they're like liberal and that doesn't fit with me.
It's
so
almost like
they slowly go down to like being like, hey, these like really shitty comedians, they're great. And I'm like, no, they're not. And you from 10 years ago would have made fun of how terrible they are. But because you've worked your brain into to liking shit that's like, I don't know, with your political spectrum, you've like shut out all of this other, I don't know, stuff, man.
So the thing is, for me, so I am a fucking radical leftist Antifa level 4 super soldier, obviously.
LGBTQ plus that gives you a bonus. That's like a medal.
Yeah. See, I automatically jumped to level 2 when I started.
Yeah, exactly. I have to start at level 1 because I'm a straight cis male.
So anyway, so what it means for me to not like the content that doesn't agree with me is that is basically like I can't watch Last Man Standing with Tim Allen.
I know. It's like, well, okay. What's
Honestly, let me tell you something. I still do like Tim Allen's old shit. It's so good. I'm not gonna watch his new shit because it's not good. But if it was good, I would watch it. There's very few. Like, if you're like a fucking just like not just like I think your ideas are reprehensible, but you actually like are on tape being reprehensible shit. That's the only way I'm gonna stop watching your stuff. Like, for example, Mel Gibson. I don't give a fuck how good Hacksaw Ridge is. I'm never gonna watch it because fuck Mel Gibson.
I want to watch that movie because I like Andrew Garfield.
Well, wait until Mel Gibson dies. Then
okay, that's. I don't want to give him the credit while he's alive.
I mean, come on, how old is Mel Gibson? He's gotta be like, he's angry and an alcoholic. So like, his 70 is our 120.
Then you won't give him the 10 cents that he would make from you streaming that movie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Mel Gibson is 64.
Oh wow, he's only 64.
Yeah, but he is an avid alcoholic, and his blood pressure has to be high. So I mean, he's basically 80 right now.
Okay.
So he's on his way out. You just have to put that off for about 5 or 6 years before you can watch Hacksaw Ridge. Yeah. I think you'll live.
But Spanky, how do you deal with not being able to watch The Apprentice?
I have literally, in my entire life, never seen an episode of The Apprentice. I've seen clips of it. And like I remember seeing clips of it like from the before times.
Yeah.
From whenever like
the before times.
Yeah. With this fucking reality star. I remember seeing clips of it and I'm like, this is a dumb show because it's obviously just fucking random bullshit. Like and it's the same thing with like Shark Tank where it's like someone's gonna be super famous and rich because of this shit. And like no, they're not. They're just fucking people that have a shitty idea. And then like they get a little publicity and then they go back to being exactly the way they were before.
That's why you gotta watch Dragon's Den. It's Canadian Shark Tank.
You guys do know that you've caused me pain because of Avatar, watching Avatar. So I had to make a pact with my wife that I'll watch.
My wife.
If we watch Avatar,
that wasn't me being late. I just was eating it.
You're eating a chip. Good.
Eat hot chip and lie.
So we've been watching the TLC program, 90 Day Fiance.
I've never heard of that.
That sounds fucking terrible.
The show is
okay.
awesome.
Well, I've never heard of this. Let me describe it.
Okay.
You meet a stranger, and you have to get married in 90 days.
Okay, that's not it.
Damn it.
My guess for what it is that for 90 days you have to have someone as your fiance, but you don't have to get married unless you really like each other, and then you do get married. But it's just like basically what Matt said, but in a different way. So that's my idea.
Okay, so Spanky's right and Matt's wrong.
It's simple.
No, I'm kidding. TJ.
It's rich white girls. They've gone on vacation in the past and they fucked a foreigner, and then they kept talking to them on Skype. And they're like, oh, we gotta get married. And then they fly their foreign boyfriend in, and then they have to get married in 90 days in order for that marriage visa to turn into actual citizenship.
TJ is actually correct with what the show is. So it's not necessarily that, but have you ever heard of the I think it's called the A1 90 Day Fiance visa? So so to get a visa to live or work in the US is very difficult, especially now. Unless you come from a non-S-hole country. Even then it's still difficult.
If you come from a very Caucasian country.
But if you are engaged to a U.S. citizen, you get a 90-day visa, and you have to be married by the end of it, or else you have to leave the country. And that is the show. So it is, at least the first season is like 4 guys who met women in foreign countries or over like the internet, and then have them fly out, and then they have to be married within 90 days or leave. And it's the whole sitcom around that situation.
It's all drama. The parents get all angry, and then they can't bother living together for 10 days, let alone the whole 90.
Yeah, I love the show only because I like watching reality television that's like good goom. My wife and I call it goombus watching.
This is all your misery vampire stuff.
Seeing these like goobers that are on TV.
Oh yeah.
And then and so it's always awesome, like just seeing these like fucking goobers, and they're like Russian like girlfriends and whatnot. So it is interesting. It's actually really good. The first season, at least, is extremely heartwarming because everything is really good and works out. Like, and it's just like, oh, this is nice.
So
it's actually just like couples.
this
together.
is apparently a 90-Day Fiance thing. Somebody in the chat says, "Go Big Ed."
Yes, Big Ed. Yes, I have not gotten to the season with Big Ed, but Big Ed, I think, doesn't have as good of a story. If I am to be led on by what I've read in some of the memes and stuff. So, but
They
overall,
have gotten to the point where some of the later episodes, like when they have like, here we're doing a marathon of 90 Day Fiance episodes. They'll have some of the marriages that actually came through. They'll actually be watching the episodes too, and will be chiming in on the shit.
yeah.
I know I've seen some of that.
Yeah. So also NASCAR, welcome to the Resistance, huh? Can't watch that now.
Yeah.
They banned the Confederate flag.
Oh no.
One of my
Every time I
favorite
see one of
things-
those stories that's like about
Yeah.
I think naval bases banning the Confederate flag, I was like, that was allowed? That's like a traitor's flag.
I know. One of my favorite things was this guy who I guess drove for NASCAR.
Oh, the guy that quit because of it?
Yeah, the guy that quit because of it. And there's a viral tweet that's not real where NASCAR like dunks on him, but it's actually not. It's even better because there's a non-real one just where some random guy commented on him is like, "You've raced for 15 years and you have yet to win a race. I don't think you're going to be."
He never even
It's
got
like,
cash.
ooh. Like,
Yeah, it was basically like, what are we gonna do now that we don't have someone to consistently come in 28th place?
yeah, that's it.
Yep.
It's just like, yeah, dude, like fuck off. Like it's so dumb. Like
So
ugh.
okay, there's this it's let me stepdad. There is, and I've sent some of the images of this t-shirt of these t-shirts in the Discord before. There's a thing called Teenage Stepdad on teenagestepdad.threadless.com, and I fucking I absolutely love all of the shirts that this motherfucker makes because they are some fucking hilarious shit. One of basically it's parodying a lot of like meme culture and like types of shirts. But there are 2 Dale Earnhardt shirts with like the NASCAR logo. And one of them is "Today is a great day to kill God" with fucking Dale Earnhardt giving like the 2 horns. And the other one is "No class no war but class war."
Yeah.
So these
Dude,
are all
I really
amazing.
like this. Because it's like, at first glance, you'd look at this and be like, this is probably
that's
some
how they're
right-winger
designed.
shirt, or like, it looks like just,
It
shitty.
looks like a cheap ass shirt you'd get at like fucking Ross Dress for Less in the middle of the South or something like that, where like there's FBI federal boner inspector. Like shit like that. There's
I love this one. There's one that says Weezer, but then it has the Big Bang Theory guys on it.
Yeah. There's a Metallica logo with the Karen meme face that says "Let me speak to your manager." Like, there's a lot of really good ones in there. But anyway, the recently Fox News ran a thing where the Weather Underground strategy is to destroy capitalism, the weapon of choice, systemic racism and police racism, identify the victim classes, organize the victim classes, engage in international solidarity with the global movement, and then the final goal is attack and dethrone God, which is like
I'm down for all that shit.
My new favorite phrase ever is fucking attack and dethrone God. And now that NASCAR is part of the resistance, all I can think of is those fucking Dale Earnhardt shirts and like a NASCAR just like fucking tweeting at 2 a.m. in the morning, attack and dethrone God.
Yeah. Do you know, like, oh my God. You know what my favorite part about this whole situation is there's no good parts, but let me rephrase that. Part that is like interesting is that it's almost like it's like the protests and the violence is like such a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, why are we protesting? Why? And then like cops beat up a bunch of people.
Yeah.
It's like, this is exactly why we're protesting, because we peacefully protest, and the cops come in and just crack people's skulls. And then that's why we're here. And then now, like, the protests have kind of fallen off the news. And I'm seeing a lot of posts on Twitter about this saying like, oh, the protests are not on the news anymore. It's not because the protests stopped. It's because I think cops have decided, oh, yeah, we should probably stop doing this because it looks bad.
Yeah.
Because they were getting the shit kicked out of them on Twitter and all sorts of other news, things.
Yeah.
Because now there's still huge protests. Like in Minneapolis today, there's a protest of thousands of people downtown, but there's no fucking video of it because there aren't cops beating the shit out of people or just standing around doing the legal right to protest. And it's just dumb. It's fucking... It's just so stupid.
I don't know if this is true. I mean, I'm sure it is, because white people are gonna be white people everywhere. Yeah. I know my race well. But definitely in the South, there's this attitude of like, why can't you just be like Martin Luther King Jr.? He was completely peaceful.
Oh my god,
he got shot. You guys.
They always fucking just forget the part where even though he was peaceful, he got fucking killed anyway. Like,
not only did he get killed, but the fucking FBI was like infiltrating his phone and trying to get him fucking his marriage broken up.
Yeah, you tried to convince him to commit suicide.
Peacefully protesting, even though he was doing things like the same things people are doing now. And people back then were fucking, you watch videos, there's white people screaming at him, like, dogs attacking, throwing. It's just like, how is this? They're doing what he was doing, except for that was in the past. So you weren't connected to it, even though if you were in the past, you would be doing the same thing that you're doing to these people that the people back then were doing to him. It's so dumb.
Yeah, like, so that's why like people like, and it comes up around like, basically I have a coworker who's like, they're not peaceful, they're rioting. I'm just like, what the fuck is the point of being peaceful? And then he's like, oh well, MLK was peaceful. I'm like, MLK was shot fucking dead. What is your point here? Are you trying to prove yourself wrong? So anyway, welcome to the Resistance NASCAR.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to say as well that the Born in the 80s podcast is 100% supports Black Lives Matter. You gotta get that out
as a brand. That's our brand statement.
I will also say we're 4 white guys, so don't listen to us about this. Go reach out and find various African American or other various communities.
Literally, but don't like just find some black person and be like, how can I be a better ally when
don't do that.
Yeah, I've seen a couple posts like that. Like, it's fucking exhausting dealing with that kind of stuff. I can tell
you, as a person who's asexual, and literally every fucking time I'm not in the closet as an asexual. I just don't bring it up because I fucking hate the conversation that comes right after I say I'm asexual, which is always, what? What is that? What does that mean?
You need a card. You just need a card to hand to people.
Yeah, I mean, like
this is the explanation.
But it's coronavirus time, so I don't want to do that.
Then once you do explain it to someone, it's we just haven't found the right woman.
Well, of course, yeah, it's an exhausting conversation. So, like, me as an asexual, that's not, like, you can't see that on the outside, and it's really not that important that people know that I'm asexual, because one of the perks about being asexual is that you don't have to find other asexual people to fuck, because you don't fuck. So, like, it comes up very rarely, it turns out. But if you're black, you can just tell that they're black. So, it's probably the bajillion times more exhausting for them. Yeah. So don't fucking do that. There's literally, like, you can type in, like, if you go to Google right now, because they have, like, predictive search based on trends, you can probably type the letter H and it'll be like, how to find resources to be anti-racist for white people. Just immediately fill that shit in. Do that. There are plenty of good articles, books, podcasts, movies, everything about it. You don't bug your black friends because they're fucking tired of it.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up, and we can't say much. I'm not going to try and speak out because I'm not black. So
no, John, fix it for us real quick.
I can and I think the number one thing that people, who are white, is just to listen. That's the key. Don't try and don't be an influencer going out into a fucking parade and try and make your statement or throw up your black square on Instagram. It's not helping. You're not, it to me always feels like the straight up same thing with people that go out like on mission trips to get a photo in front of a house in Nicaragua so you can say like, hey, I'm a good person. It's like, no, like you're doing it for the clout, So no, what I'm saying is the thing you need to do is listen and lift up, black voices. So if we had a black cast member or a podcast, that would be good.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you
you know
guys
what?
are literally my only friends, so like, don't get me.
I mean, it is difficult being in a place of the country where there's like 10 black people that live in my neighborhood. Like it's
that's a problem I have a lot with Springfield. I do have some of my best friends
a
are
very
black.
white area we're at.
But no, in real life, I have one coworker who is black.
Yeah.
And feel really bad that he has to just fucking deal with the shit he deals with all the time. So I try to not ever bring it up. So I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, in the age of social media, it's like, if I'm not on social media getting into fights with random Twitter bots, people can't look that up. Do they know I'm not a shithole? So like I struggle with how to exist in a world where I'm not on social media, and that's how everyone figures out if you're a shithole or not.
No, I mean that's the key with this is that just support the people. That's it. That's why I say we support that. Obviously, just want to get out there.
Yeah, and
We're on the
also
right side
all
of
that
history.
stuff about like all that stuff up to and including dethroning God. Just do all that.
Yeah,
Yes.
attack and dethrone God.
Fuck
Attack and
God.
dethrone God. So, since we talked about NASCAR a little bit, I do want to say a couple words about the NFL because I on Mastodon made a post about it, and on Mastodon it's all just nerdy trans and queer people, so no one gives a fuck what I have to say about football. But I wanted to pen it anyways because I was thinking about it, and basically like it was part because I was on Twitter and I saw some stuff, but so basically 2016, Kaepernick kneeled, Trump got pissed off, all the racists got pissed off, NFL bent to their will and was like, no more protesting and all that shit. Well, basically...
And they blacklisted Kaepernick.
Yeah, they blacklisted Kaepernick. So my boy, Patrick Mahomes, and my other boy, I feel bad about calling them boys because that is a racially charged term. My favorite player... Fuck.
No,
My
you're like...
favorite
Is like he's like a bro, he's a pal. Like,
I know, but I went really slow with it. So I was going to say, and my boy also, Tyrann Mathieu, who's also a Chief, but I said it very slow the second time. And I was like, I should not say it slowly. I should do the king from YouTube poop my boy or nothing. I should not go slow with that phrasing.
Make sure that you say you're a house N-word.
Oh, no,
yeah.
Bill Maher.
Was it Bill Maher?
That was
Yeah.
Bill Maher.
So,
I think the right
anyway.
and the left can just find unity on hating Bill Maher.
Yeah, he sucks. All right, moving on.
Yeah, Bill Maher sucks.
I will say, like, 17-year-old John loved Bill Maher, and that's as far
yeah.
as you need to
I
go about
honestly-
it.
That's
will
like
say
where
that-
his level of discourse is, like
Yeah.
edgy 17-year-old.
So I liked Bill Maher for roughly 2 months, which was the 2 months after the election in 2016, whenever literally everything on his show was just inviting new people to come up and say, fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I loved Bill Maher then. Then at the end of those 2 or 3 months or whatever, he had to go and call himself in a house N-word. And I was like, well, I'm done with that shit forever now. But anyway, back to my NFL thing. They made that video, and 2 Chiefs were in it, and they were like my favorite offensive and defensive player on the team, so that was really cool. And I was like, so I stan Patrick Mahomes and Tyrann Mathieu. They are part of the anti-racism video that made the NFL fucking like, it'll be like, okay, fine, you can protest, but encourage it. Like they literally said, we encourage it, not just it's technically allowed. And now people are all like, but JJ Watt will stand up for our veterans. And JJ Watt tweets like, 1, don't speak for me. 2, if you're not the veterans, fuck you. And like the racists love JJ Watt because he's like big strong white guy who's like in Texas and popular and whatever.
Yeah.
And even he is like, no, 1, fuck you. 2, that's not what it's about. It's like even like I don't expect JJ Watt to be the fucking person who fixes racism, obviously, but even if he is as willing to go so far as to say, like, it's not about disrespecting the troops, like, they have just taken all the fucking gas out of the fire of all these racist fuckers, and I am so excited to finally go to a sports bar again and not feel like every conversation at every other table around me is going to be about how all these fucking N-words need to get fired for kneeling.
This is one reason why it's been so good to be an NBA fan in the past, because the NBA has straight up been very anti-racist. So it's always just been like, if I'm here with NBA fans, I know that they're not shitheads.
Also,
and then
NBA fans have kind of sidestepped the flag thing because they randomly, like, I don't even think it was a protest thing. They just had it in the rule book for years that like you have to stand, like that's just the rule. So like they sidestepped that by that not even really being an option, and it hasn't been for decades. So it was like,
So I'm going to bring up a really good Quibi show that I watched.
Okay.
So there's a short document, or it's not a short documentary because it's like 10 parts and they're like 8 minutes, 7-8 minutes piece. So it's like a full documentary. It's called Blackballed. And it's about the Clippers and the Donald Sterling recordings that came out during their playoffs run, and kind of what happened with that team and how the NBA handled it.
Imagine you're talking to somebody that has no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, so let's just say this: the LA Clippers are a team in LA. The NBA is like 80% black, athletes, and the owner of the Clippers was with a mistress, and he was recorded telling her that he didn't like seeing her post videos and pictures of her around black guys, and that Magic Johnson, she shouldn't be around him because that sends a bad message, because he's black, basically.
Okay.
And so that really pissed off the NBA because and because he like had HIV or AIDS or something. And it was just like, first off, he didn't have AIDS. He had HIV, and he was HIV positive, and then he got the $8 billion treatment.
Yeah.
He's now, I think, no longer HIV positive. But regardless of whatever happened with that, the NBA community is like, oh, he's one of our most beloved stars. So stepping out against someone like that, as well as being in LA, where he's one of the greatest players that an LA team has ever had, the Lakers, not the Clippers, was like, okay. And so it's actually kind of like a whole like behind the scenes. They interview all the players. You get to hear like from players talking about how they've dealt with racism their whole lives, and like Chris Paul, who's really great. He's actually the players' union representative and as well, and like how they had to basically deal with this when they were on this historic playoff run, like the best their team has ever done. And then the owner says all this stuff. And what happened was the NBA banned him from the sport for life 2 days later. That was just hammer went down. And that is why the NBA is good.
And what year was that in?
2013, 2014.
Oh, wow.
So the thing about the Clippers, and I think that every Clippers fan will not admit this, but in their hearts they know it's true, is they know that the Lakers are the fucking team that's good in LA.
Yeah.
I think they are a 50-year-old team, and in the time that John was talking about, like 2013, 2014, they were good and I think got their division title, and literally never again in their 50-year history have they done anything close to that.
Yeah.
So like
they were a laughingstock team, and then they brought together all this incredible talent. You had Blake Griffin, you had future All-Star Chris Paul, just all these amazing players together. Doc Rivers, their coach, who coached the Celtics teams of the early 2000s, one of the greatest NBA coaches of all time. And this great team, and then their owner just sits in the race, and the team just is like blown up with a media storm where they're trying like to take on the Golden State Warriors when they're starting to rise, and it was just like this mess. It was a really cool Quibi documentary about the background on that. So there is some good stuff on Quibi to watch, but I don't know if it's worth paying for. To watch like the 3 good shows on it.
So here's the thing with Quibi. The reason they got so much talent to agree to be on it was because they offered them full control over what they made. So when Quibi eventually goes bankrupt, all of this stuff will get recut into like what it actually should be, like probably 20-minute things and whatever, or a full-length documentary, and you can just watch it somewhere else.
Well, there is some good stuff. Blackballed is a really good documentary about that whole situation. So if you do have Quibi or do a free trial and you're interested in basketball and that issue, it's really good because it was just like such a good amount of solidarity too, because they aren't allowed to protest at the national anthem because this is written in the rule book where it wasn't in the NFL. But the teams all showed solidarity by doing the warm-ups where they turn their jerseys inside out, and they didn't wear their team jerseys during warm-ups, and like all the other teams like kind of in in support did that as well that like week. So I mean, there was little things they could do, yeah, but during the anthem they're not allowed to fuck around, which is annoying, but whatever. Like, yeah, they showed it the way that they could without getting fined.
I don't really know why we even do the anthem before sports balls.
I do.
Because of the godless commies, right?
No, because I believe that the U.S. government pays the NFL and NBA for the like flag guard that shows up during those, and it's like a recruitment tool for the military. So our tax dollars pay for that. By the way,
they also do a shitload of recruitment advertising.
Yes, correct. It's like a whole thing with it.
That makes sense.
I don't know if that's the way with like other sports, but with the NFL, 100%. That's why. So just before we get out of sport, let's finish sports talk before we move on. I'm sure nobody likes sports except for me and Spanky, and TJ
I like
to
esports.
a degree. But what are the odds Kaepernick is signed this year?
This year, 0.
I think
because of the coronavirus and all that shit, like they're gonna blame. Oh, we couldn't have him work out at a like training camp, and we couldn't do like a full, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that this year he is not going to. But here's what I do think. So there's a lot of teams right now who don't have a clear quarterback. One of them is the Tennessee Titans. And let me tell you something. If I think Nashville is not that far away from me. I can get a direct flight from Springfield to Nashville. If I can go, I'd love the Titans. Like, the Titans are probably my second favorite AFC team, depending on how shitty they're doing. Yeah. But just because of proximity mostly, and I like the fact that they're a pretty new franchise. If Kaepernick's in fucking Tennessee Titans, I will go to a Titans game this year rather than a Chiefs game this year because I just fucking want to go. But I don't know if the Titans would do it. I mean, on one hand, it's Tennessee, so you've got like Memphis, which is like a historically important city for black people, but it's also got Nashville, which is fucking white town, USA. I mean, not that black people don't live there. It's just like that's where country music lives, which is like not particularly known for its race sensitive content.
Except for Lil Nas X.
There is also the Chargers, who are without a quarterback right now. I don't want Kaepernick to go to the Chargers because they're in my division, and I don't want to fucking lose to the Chargers.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, so those who are not in the know, he during the 2016 season started kneeling and kind of started a lot of the controversy around that. Or not the controversy around that. He did that thing that was really normal, peaceful protest.
Originally, he was sitting, right? And then he like met with
he was sitting, and then
he met with a veteran.
He met with a Green Beret, a retired Green Beret, to discuss ways to protest that would be respectful to the troops. And then Trump was like, this N-word is not respectful to the troops in private. And then he cleaned it up a little bit to this son of a bitch is not respectful to the troops whenever he had his rallies.
Yes, because kneeling to a flag is way worse than standing. Like, okay. Like, anyway, so he effectively was blackballed from the NFL. I think part of it as well is the fact that he was a middling tier starting quarterback, like not bad, definitely way better than some of the quarterbacks that teams had playing in the 2017-2018.
Joe Flacco has had a job in the NFL.
Oh, it's not even that. Nathan Peterman on the Bills was probably one of the worst starting quarterback players of all time. You have all of these like terrible starters, but I think they didn't want to sign him because of the controversy that would have followed around that. And I'm sure he actually wanted real money as a contract because he's a good player. And I'm seeing an article here
where I would absolutely put Kaepernick on par with Alex Smith, if not better than Alex.
Oh yeah,
and Alex Smith got almost to the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, so
for sure
he's not a bad quarterback.
No, he's a good quarterback. He's definitely like, I would say he's like a B- quarterback, maybe a B-. He's good. You know, he's not going to win games for you, but he certainly can pull off some plays. As a Packers fan, when he absolutely destroyed the Packers in the playoffs 2 years in a row, and it was all him and his incredible athleticism and playmaking ability, which is still around, but he's older. You know, he's getting closer to 30. But the thing is, he might be 30.
Tom Brady is 44. And
I know, exactly.
For a $1 billion deal to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I agree. It is a ridiculous. This is the argument people will make, but he's in that situation where he's like right in the middle. Like he's good enough to sign, but good enough that he wants a lot of money. There's a lot of controversy around him. He's too good to just be a backup because he'll want more money than that. And there's an article here where Pete Carroll said after he went unsigned, the Seahawks were interested in signing him, but they didn't sign him because he's a starting quarterback and they have a starting quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, Russell Wilson. So it's like, he's not going to be a backup, but there are so many teams that could use him as a starting quarterback. Like there's so many shitty teams. And it's just like, the argument doesn't make sense to me because
first
he
one
should have a spot.
Yeah. First one that comes to mind, it's not the Chargers, but it's still in the AFC West. It's the Denver Broncos, who literally have been able to build a decent team, except for John Elway, who was one of the historically greatest quarterbacks to play the game, if you ask a lot of people. I don't think so. I think he kind of sucks. But, I mean, whatever.
He could throw the ball really far.
Yeah, exactly. That was like in Denver. Fucking, anyway. Anyway, so John Elway, even though he's historically one of the best quarterbacks at that position, has a fucking terrible, like he's like I forget if he's the general manager or what he is, but he's the guy picking who works at quarterback, who plays quarterback for the team. He's picked like 5 fucking losers in a row now. Ever since Peyton Manning won that Super Bowl and retired, they just haven't had a quarterback. That's a great place. But the thing is that Elway's probably a fucking racist, honestly. So why the fuck would he do that?
Anyway, I hope he does. I think with the weird situation with COVID, I don't even know what the season's going to look like this year. So who knows?
Yeah. Do you think? Do you just like one more question? Do you have the sense that if he does get signed, that the tide has turned enough that there won't be a big like controversy about it, and it'll be more like finally like everybody's happy?
There won't be a controversy around it because public opinion polls show Black Lives Matter is more than 50% of the support in the country.
Also,
so the tide is turned.
But right now, like all the people who had like plausible deniability of oh, it's about the troops, have totally dropped that facade.
Yep.
Drew Brees fucking ruined that for anyone who was hoping to do that, because Drew Brees is the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints.
A historically white area of the country. It's just insane. Like, dude, you play for the Saints, man. That's like one of the largest African American fan bases.
He gave an interview where he's basically had the worst take, like not the worst.
Oh my god,
take is fuck black people, but like the worst take you can have, where it's like, my granddaddy's fought in the war and I can't disrespect him. And like immediately every black person whose grandfathers fought in the war who played the NFL and their grandfathers got to come back to a country that fucking hated them, who called him, including his teammates, and was like, hey, look, my granddad fought in the war too. And when he came back, he wasn't a fucking hero. He was just not allowed to sit at the fucking counter with your granddad. So like, you need to think about that, god damn it. So he basically, anyone who was hoping to use the plausible deniability thing with the veterans got that totally fucking ruined for them by Drew Brees. And honestly, good. I mean, like, fuck Drew Brees for saying that, but also I'm glad that he ruined that.
Well, and also good on him for backtracking. You know, he backtracked. You know, he said it. You know, but regardless of the situation, and what he did was just be a big dumb sports guy, because what has happened is that I'm assuming he's a conservative guy. He's a white guy from the South, whatever, and the whole like Fox News and Rich as well. Fox News conservative movement has basically turned the what the Kaepernick protest was into this isn't a protest in support of Black Lives Matter. This is a protest in offense against American soldiers, basically. And it completely twisted what he was trying to do with that was, oh, you don't want to stand for the flag, you hate America, you hate the troops, when in fact it was, I don't stand for the flag because I want to point out all of this racism that's still happening.
There is an episode of BoJack Horseman in the first season. It might be like the second, or it might even be the first episode. I don't remember. It's very early on in the show. And it's BoJack, and he's at a grocery store. And there is a seal there because everyone's like a anthropomorphic. There's humans, but there's also
not everyone. Most, Go ahead.
So there's a seal there, and BoJack is looking for these muffins, and he sees the muffins, so he grabs the muffin, and the seal turns around, and he's like, "Hey, those are my muffins," and BoJack's like, "No, they're not. They were just sitting here, and now I picked them up, and I'm going to go buy them." He's like, "But I set them down for a second," and BoJack's like, "But if you sit them down and they're back on the shelf, then they're not your muffins because you haven't bought them yet." So basically, BoJack is an alcoholic, like drug addict, all sorts of shit. So he always goes on.
Eat a lot of muffins.
Yes, so he drives home, and and the time it takes him to get home, he has eaten all of the entire pack of muffins, but on the drive back to his house. But when he gets there, there's like the MSNBC, but it's SEA is how C is spelled, which is got a whale as the anchor, because it's an anchor, because whatever. So that guy's like, man who this guy says that BoJack Horseman, who was famous on the show Horsing Around, had, disrespected him, and he's a former Navy SEAL because he's a SEAL. And and basically BoJack, because he's not good at making opinions, decides to call into the interview and like get on the interview and just eventually he gets around to saying something, and just like, but he's a Navy SEAL. And he's like, yeah, but that has nothing to do with the fact that I fucking bought the muffins and they weren't his muffins. And he's like, do you hate the troops? So it was basically that. But of course, in BoJack, it went further by him saying, like, I don't know if I agree with everything the troops do, which immediately allowed them to go like, oh, so you wouldn't say. He's like, well, I think it's like, so you're saying that all of our troops aren't heroes? And he's like, well, I think it's kind of hard to say they're all heroes. I don't know all of them. He's like, so you're saying troops aren't heroes? So you're saying basically, so that
it's literally what happened with the Kaepernick argument was, oh, okay, so you're kneeling, you don't support the troops or America, and it's like, no. He doesn't support the injustices happening, and that's what he's trying to point out by doing this. But the people had to make it. Basically, it kind of is a thing that historically happens: is you just make it the argument about something else to take the power away from it. So rather than people actually talking about the issues that he was talking about, it was whether or not you support the troops.
Yeah, that kind of that reminds me of what Spanky was talking about earlier, where like now people are like. Well, why do the protesters have to start like throwing bricks and being so rowdy and stuff? And it's like, I don't know. He did the peaceful thing for a while. You guys all freaked out about it. Like, he was literally just kneeling there, and it was the biggest controversy on the planet. Yeah,
and that J.J. Watt speaking out is really good though, because he says this exactly in black and white terms.
Yeah.
If you think that kneeling is 100% not about disrespecting the flag, and if you're making that argument, you aren't listening to what it actually is about.
Right.
That's it.
Also,
you just cut through the bullshit.
Baker Mayfield, who I think is absolutely hilarious person, because he's not a bad quarterback, but he's
kind of bad.
He's not.
He had a rookie
bad,
season. Oh, yeah, he was kind of thrown to the wolves.
He is absolutely insufferable. He is so full of himself. And not only that, but people are like, oh, him and Patrick Mahomes are from the same like draft year, and people just aren't giving Baker enough attention and stuff, even though he's so good because Mahomes happened to have a good rookie season. Listen, y'all, Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl. He's a fucking phenomenal quarterback. Baker Mayfield is like, we called Kaepernick a B. I'm going to give him a C+, B-, B- for effort, but C+ for his shitty attitude.
Yeah.
So, but he even said like, I do plan to kneel, like in like verbatim. So it's like, and he's also one of the ones who are like, Mahomes is good, but I don't like that.
There's going to be a lot of players kneeling for the anthem next year because especially because I think the commissioner of football has now also spoken out in support of Black Lives Matter. So
Yes.
it's pretty much like the NFL is not going to stop you for doing this. So I think players that were worried, especially players who aren't like big names like JJ Watt and whatnot. So if you're just some regular third stringer on a team working special teams, you don't want to try and get yelled at and not get on a roster. Now I think they're allowed to say, okay, all the big guys are on our side, so I can actually do this now. And I think there'll be a lot of that.
When was this all? This was in 2016. So I
Yeah.
still had Facebook at the time that this started. I deleted it very, very soon after.
Good idea, because it's not been good since 2016.
Yeah, that's what I got off of it too.
I would argue since before that, but like after 2016, it became only right wing, like crazy bullshit. But in that time, there was a guy I used to work with who was a Cowboys fan, and I knew he was like right wing, but he he wasn't like super right wing. Like he listened to rap music and shit like that, and like was really into like Drake and stuff. So I think that his politics were mostly just shitty, but I don't think he was overtly a terrible racist. So he was a Cowboys fan, and when the Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, who is an eccentric dickbag, decided, hey, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out there and literally be the white savior and stand in the middle of all of my black teammates.
Mm-hmm.
And after the anthem is over, after we have all locked arms and stood for the anthem, we're going to walk to the middle of the field and kneel after the anthem. And that's how Jerry Jones, will fix racism. So they did that. And like, honestly, like that was such a fucking engineered thing. It didn't mean anything anyway. But my friend who was a Cowboys fan, his brother shared it to Facebook. And he was like, I'm so disappointed in this. And his brother was like, no, bro. They stood for the anthem. This was just after. And I'm just like, what the fuck what is this? Like, these people who are like, oh man, it's just gotta be my exact brand of racist. Because if I can't like fit it in the exact mold of how I want them to do this, then it's not okay. And I was just like, the Cowboys suck. Who even fucking watches the Cowboys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, I mean, that stuff is so, it's the same shit that like the cops were doing, like kneeling at these protests, and then like 20
in
minutes later,
protest of
beating
the
the shit out of
police
people. Like,
kneeling in protest of the police violence they were going to do 2 hours from then.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, yeah.
So in more fun news in the world, we can talk about either video games, of which news happened this week.
Oh yeah.
Or we can talk about book club, whichever you guys want to go to.
Let's do book club at the end. Let's do video games. I need I emptied my water, so I gotta go get that. If you guys want to start talking about video game news.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with my bookcase.
Yes, TJ got his fancy Persona case up.
Yeah, well, it's only showing Persona stuff right now, but I built myself a bookcase on Sunday. I just bought a shitty one at Walmart. It said it was 5 shelves. I expected it to only be like waist high, but it's but almost as tall as a door, which is cool. So I can just put stuff on 3 shelves and put my shit that I shouldn't be showing, like garbage and like chips and light bulbs on the bottom 2 shelves, to make it look like I have some sort of. This would be nice once I start streaming. Once I get my
If you're an audio-only podcast listener, you can join in our live streams at hemsworthfeet.world. If you would like to see this shit in real time. Yes, that is a real URL, and yes, it does go to the streams for the podcast, if you're curious.
But yeah, so I put out all my Persona shit. Well, that's Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, which is the series that turned into that spun off into Persona. For a couple of reasons. Number one, the newest one, Persona 5 Royal, which is just Persona 5 with more stuff in the game and integrated some quality light changes, whatever. I just finished that on Sunday. Definitely say that it was quite the experience. I had to walk away from Whereas Persona 5, I wanted to start a new game plus right off the bat. Like, I was ready to go through another game to finish the things I didn't do. Persona 5 Royal, I finished the game, and the ending with the new boss and the new dungeon overwhelmed me emotionally. Like, I know I cried a couple tears during the credits of Persona 5, but this one kind of shut me down. Very much so. And I don't want to get into specifically why, because of spoilers, but now I know John is playing Persona 5 Classic, but I am going to... As much as
I'm never going to play this video game, by the way, so if it's me you're worried about, don't.
No. As I'm just talking to our two listeners, even though Persona 5 Royal
Elon Musk.
I am going to recommend, if you're ever going to try it, do the Persona 5 Basic one first. Because A, it's super cheap, and B, you'll get at least 130 hours even in one playthrough. And if you really enjoyed it and you want more of it, play Persona 5 Royal. You can jump right into Royal, but I think it's better to play the original and then get Royal, hopefully on a sale or discount. No need to spend the $90 on the special edition like I did. But that actually leads me into something else I've got on my shelf. I guess I don't have to tell John. He edits the podcast, so he can listen to my recommendation about Persona 5. Because he still hasn't gotten back on. Sir, put your headphones on. Welcome back, John.
What's up? What'd I miss?
I basically gave my my spoiler-free review of Persona 5 Royal because I just finished that on Sunday.
I see.
I didn't give a Born in the 80s patented rating scale, but because it left me completely emotionally broken at the end, 5 out of 5.
Okay.
Okay. But I did tell our listeners, play the original first. If you like it and you want more, then play Royal. You could jump in just in Royal, but no, play the original first. And that spins off into something we just heard at the PC Game Show today. On the PC Game Show, there was an announcement that a game that was previously exclusively to the Vita, and I threw it on the floor.
PlayStation Vita.
Yep, is now on Steam.
Yeah.
And it is available today, and it's only $20, and that's the golden version of Persona 4. I'm pointing to regular Persona 4 because I don't have the case for golden because I have it digitally.
So golden removes my favorite voice actress from the game.
Is it because
is this our chance?
Yeah.
Aha! Is this our chance?
Chie?
Yeah. One of the characters in the game, Chie Satonaka, she basically just kicks enemies. Her weapons are just...
She's your kick girlfriend.
She is your kick girlfriend.
Your kicking
and
girlfriend.
Best girl. We will get into waifu wars in the Discord, especially for anyone that does play it.
Wait, Persona 4 waifu wars?
Yeah.
Because Chie is up there. I don't know if she's my favorite. Rise as well.
There's Chie, there's Rise, to a lesser extent Naoto, and no one cares about Yukiko.
Yeah, Yukiko is so like basic Japanese, like stereotypical anime waifu. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just Chie kicks ass. She like literally.
Yes, she does. But the voice actor in the original PS2 version, that was her only voice role she ever did in her life.
Yeah.
Was just Chie.
I liked it.
Did nothing after that. But she's very... I don't know, because I wouldn't have imagined her as plain. So I do like the who's taken over for every Chie since then, which includes the animation, that includes Golden, which includes Arena and Arena Ultimax and the dancing game, and the first of the DS games, Persona Q.
But Persona 4 is a really great game. Like,
yes, it is.
I don't know if I'm going to buy it because I don't have the time to play it again, even if the golden version is changed from it.
Yes,
I got to finish 5 first.
Yeah.
Point out that from now on, John is going to be referred to as Rene Descartes because someone in the chat has said that you look like a 1600s philosopher.
You know what's funny? I did that app or that thing that scans your face and gives the information to
right.
Russia, but then paints you into a Renaissance painting. I think that's in the Discord. Yeah, I'm growing out the beard now, so I've got the long hair, so it's really
I honestly wouldn't say like I'm rusty on my when philosophers were alive. I know Rene Descartes was in the 1600s. He's the only one I can remember from the 1600s. But I feel like you've kind of got almost a like Peter Kropotkin fucking let's get this bread beard going on.
But speaking of listening to what I was saying was, we talked about, how the Kaepernick argument turned into, I thought about this while I was peeing, how when I'm getting my drink, we talked about the Kaepernick argument became an argument with the flag. It was another thing where I wanted to just bring up is this people not listening to what the people who were protesting were trying to talk about and making it about something else. So listen to Black voices. Candace Owens, she's a really prominent Black voice that you should listen to.
God damn it.
Oh my God. One of my high school, I think I posted about this like on Twitter, saying it's really funny seeing like all of my high school friends from the small town that I went to high school just posting all this smooth brain fucking PragerU bullshit. Like, wow, it really makes you think. And like, cause this guy like posted about like Candace Owens talking that fucking shit where she was talking about George Floyd wasn't like a saint or whatever, an angel or some bullshit, and like how he shouldn't be made into a martyr. And it was just like the dumbest shit. And I think I posted about this. I think I posted on the Discord, but the Dave Chappelle short special that he did, where he actually directly rebuts the argument that she made about like why he why should we make him into a martyr? And his argument is, we didn't make him into a martyr. The police did when they fucking killed him.
Yeah.
They don't pick who is a martyr. The martyr gets made because there's someone who shouldn't have been killed. Like, it doesn't matter anything about his past. Like,
so like my politics kind of go between like sometimes I think PragerU is like really enlightening, and sometimes I just like really want to see Ben Shapiro totally own the libs with facts and logic.
You know what I love about the Ben Shapiro owning libs with facts and logic video is that he doesn't own the libs with facts at all or logic. I guess he's using logic.
I've only seen the recommended box on YouTube have like 50 of his images in it because
I will say the guy uses a lot of really good logic because he's using the logic of how can I lie about things and make it seem like I've won an argument. Like, he's very good at doing that. But those videos are always him arguing with some fucking like college kid that went to a fucking talk. And so it's like this guy who's supremely prepared to fucking rebut any argument because he does this for a living. And then like some college kid comes up and says like blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what did you say about X, Y, and Z? I know you can't rebut any of this because you're not an expert in the topic. Oh my God. H-Bomber guy has such an incredible fucking takedown of Ben Shapiro's whole fucking shtick and the shtick of like all these, conspiracy theorists like anti-climate change.
That's the one where he says that he will debate Ben Shapiro if he can do it in his persona that is making fun of Ben Shapiro.
Maybe. There was an argument where like Ben Shapiro was doing some fucking talk about climate change, and he had this fucking galaxy brain line of if the people who live in the areas that are going to be like affected by climate change, why would you think those people wouldn't just sell their homes and move? And then his response is, who the fuck are they going to sell their homes to, Ben Shapiro? Fucking Aquaman? They're going to be underwater. Like, that is not how it works. Like, you can't just like, oh yeah, I'll sell my house that's going to be fucking hit by hurricanes every year. That's not how it fucking works. Because he doesn't use logic. He just says something. And then, and the other thing he brings up, and this is like the biggest thing, is that when you ever hear anyone say, I'm not an expert, but don't listen to anything they have to say. Because when you say, I'm not an expert, then you have complete plausible deniability over everything you've said. Because if you get proven wrong and say, well, I wasn't an expert, I was just speculating. And then there's no point to listen. It's just like how, and this is a golden rule of journalism, I think I brought this up, is any article that starts with, that has a question as the title is dumb.
Yeah.
Because
the answer can always be no.
No. Exactly. It's a dumb thing. You never make an article that's a question, because when you're doing that, you don't have the answer, which is why you're making it a question. Because if you had the actual answer that you're posing the question to, there wouldn't be a question, because you would post the actual news because there's facts. It's the dumbest shit. So yeah, what I'm saying is, listen to people. Don't listen to Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens, because what they do is ask a lot of questions and say that they're not an expert, and so they just like to say bullshit that you want to hear, and it's not right. The people on the left do it too. Like, it's the same kind of shit that the people on the left do as well.
So we were talking.
But they're right.
We were talking about video games. You just came back from pissing and brought your politics into my video games.
This is because
video games have never been
I can imagine you just like pissing and just getting so wound up as it goes.
I was thinking about it while I walked to go get a drink and go to the bathroom, and I was like, God, motherfucking all these people, just it pisses me off because it's just so annoying. Oh my God, but like, oh fuck, dude, like all these video game companies are like posting about like supporting Black Lives Matter, and then like fucking video game fanboys are like popping off about it, and it's hilarious. It's the same shit. It's like the self-ownage of like, oh, I'm not going to support this awesome games company anymore.
I guess
play their awesome games.
Enjoy playing nothing but Riot games.
No.
Anyway, so let's not get too much more deep into that.
We were not, John. We had started the whole let's not thing.
Here's what happened.
Anime waifu game that TJ's playing.
I got up
ladder and a full cup of fucking Chardonnay. Or what the fuck you got in that red Solo cup of yours, and you're like, let me talk about how much I fucking hate Candace Owens.
Oh, I do though. She's so bad. The Dave Chappelle thing is just so good. She's the most articulate idiot I've ever heard, or the most articulate dumb person I've ever heard. Like, yeah, she's just.
If you want to get our opinions all week, just join our Discord.
Yeah, there's a whole channel of politics.
Anyway, yes, I will stop talking about politics because TJ has this anime waifu wall, and we got to see what the PlayStation 5 is, boys.
It's a Trapper Keeper.
Trapper Keeper.
It's a router. Wait, here it is, guys. I have a PlayStation 5 right here. Yeah, PlayStation 5, baby.
Can I tell you, like, before this week, I had no idea how much gamers cared about aesthetics. Looks like everybody's freaking out about it. It's like literally the least important part of the thing.
I will also say that I think it looks fucking kick-ass because it isn't just a box.
I think it does.
Yeah, I think it looks cool.
One thing that I
like
think
it's
is cool,
fun to me. I make fun because I like it. Like I care.
One thing that I like about it is that it matches PSVR, and like you can kind of tell that's where they were going when they released PSVR and all this shit, is to make it look like this.
TJ's doing the same thing I'm doing.
Oh my god!
Wait,
so, I
got one here too, guys. My PS5.
So my friend who has every worst take possible.
I have one of those friends too.
Yeah, you do.
So sent me a picture of the PS5 controller and was like, "Man, this thing looks like shit." And I'm like, "Can you give me some reasons why it looks like shit?" Because it is a white PS4 controller with less thick grips on it and a way better system for the light. Like that's all it fucking is.
Now I will say this. Sony, is this a great time to make a white controller?
They also have a black one though. You know what I mean? Like
separate but equal. Got it.
Yeah. Just said you were gonna stop talking about politics.
But to be fair, the PlayStation 5 console is black and white at the same time.
And
Ebony
a little
and
bit of
ivory.
blue.
Ebony and ivory.
Yeah, side by side on my piano keyboard.
It's like Candace Owens and
this
Ben
is a total
Shapiro
non
together.
sequitur, but apparently the piano keys used to be reversed because ivory used to be a lot more expensive than ebony, so they used the lesser.
Wait, so the keyboards had black keys and white?
Yeah, with little white keys. Yeah.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. I just learned that the other day, and an opportunity came up for me to shout it out randomly to derail the conversation.
I'm just so hyped up with politics. I watched the Ava DuVernay documentary 13.
I have not seen that
God,
one.
I saw that a couple of years ago, and I don't
Yeah,
think
it
I
came
fully recovered from it.
It came out in 2016. It's just about how the whole prison system is just systemically a continuation of slavery.
Another Ava DuVernay one that's really, really good is I think it's When They See Us.
Yeah, I think I've
But
heard of
that
that.
was the one about the Central Park Five.
Yeah. I haven't seen that.
That came
The
out a couple of
president
years.
liked those guys.
God damn.
That came out a few years ago, and it was really good. And then Spike Lee. This is what's kind of crazy. I mean, like crazy. God fucking damn it!
Yeah, he's fucking
train.
trapping us.
Okay, so the only thing I was gonna say was that Spike Lee has been creating this I think it's a series actually, or maybe it's a movie. Don't fully remember what it is, but it just came out on Netflix.
I think it's a movie.
It's Defy Bloods.
Yeah.
And it's about black people who are veterans or in the military. Yeah, who are in the military. And like, there is no way that obviously Spike Lee could have known that this shit was going to go down. But it was. But also, like, we're a shitty enough country that there was a good chance that we were going to be in some kind of fucking crisis whenever it came out anyway. Yeah, that's that I haven't watched it yet, but it has good reviews and it's very timely, both unfortunately and not. I don't know how to say that exactly. It's good that there's a good piece of content to watch right now, but it's also shitty that right now is a time when we need a good piece of content to watch that's about how don't be a racist. Also, we're talking about video games. The PlayStation 5, I like the way it looks, and it's good. And there's a new Spider-Man for PlayStation 5, and that looks pretty fucking cool. And
Miles Morales. One of those PC characters that Marvel introduced.
God damn it, John, shut
the
fuck up.
A black Spider-Man.
Do you think that this really won't come out? Do you think that expansion will not come out for PS4?
It's not an expansion, TJ.
So it's alone, but it's an expansion.
No. You guys, it's an expand alone.
I've done that.
They did this with Infamous as well. When they put out Last Light, which was a standalone expansion.
So I think the stream that I watched, I tuned in after the Miles Morales game was shown.
Oh,
is it the same people that did the other Spider-Man game?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So one of the funny, there's a couple amazing takes I had about this, but so like people were like bitching to. I forget, just awful gamers on Twitter were just saying, "Oh, an expansion" or whatever, and then like to the Insomniac account, who would reply, "This is not an expansion." They're like, "How would you know?" Like, we're making the game. Like, it's like the dumbest shit. Like, people just trying to talk over people. But I saw somebody. Oh my god, some, and this is a white guy. Galaxy Brain take was like, "Oh." The timing of this is so great, but it shows that the people at I forget this. It's not Naughty Dog. What studio? Insomniac. Insomniac were thinking of this 2 or 3 years ago when they're developing this game, and so that shows how like inclusive they are. And I'm like, oh, what a bad take. Like, first off, they aren't doing it because they're doing it to be inclusive. They're doing it because Miles Morales is like a huge Spider-Man character now, and people want to see that character. And 2, they definitely haven't been working on this for 2 years because it's obviously just using the engine and everything and just building a new story on it. Like, it's fine. It's its own standalone game, but they weren't building a game from scratch for this. They were just like, hey, Miles Morales is a great Spider-Man character. We should make a game about him.
I was talking to Ewan about this earlier because Ewan loves Spider-Man, and I was like, what it reminds me of how they've done it and how they're like calling it an expand alone or whatever the fuck they're calling it. It reminds me of the original Guild Wars games, because Guild Wars Prophecies, Guild Wars Factions, and then like there was like another one. They were all the same engine, the same game pretty much, but they had different stories and missions, and each of them had like their own unique class and stuff. But it was all like the same game, just the zone. They were all expansions on the first one. But you didn't have to have the first ones to play them, and you could talk to people who were playing the other ones. And if you had both of them installed, you could go to the other zones and shit, and like have like your ritualist from Guild Wars factions go play the levels from Prophecies and whatever. So like it was very much like they are connected. They're the same engines. You can tell that they are the same games. They control the same everything about them. You can tell that they're the same game, but they are completely different in content that they offer you. So that's what it made sense to me to compare it to, because they're like standalone, but still the same game, but they're not the same game.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just so heated about politics. It's hard to talk about. Like, so I just wanted to point out, I started to try and do a weekly column the week before all this happened, and I was like, I can't even fucking write about because I was like, I'm gonna write about like the summer and about all these summer memories. I'm like, I can't talk about this right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the world sucks so much now. It's like I can't even enjoy. E3 is not a thing. I used to enjoy taking off this week of work every week and just playing video games and reading video game news. And then now everything's ruined. What?
I just realized what we should do.
What?
When World of Warcraft Classic came out, I think to a lesser but maybe equal extent, Matt had those fucking 2005, like every single thing that ever showed in 2005 on G4.
Yes!
Like all 140 hours of content.
Yeah, you found like a channel on YouTube that had like old
every single episode of X-Play. I found one that had a whole bunch of Attack of the Show, but like tons and tons and tons and tons of old ass content.
Yeah.
It might be a good time to just like not engage with current event content right now, but to like, what were we doing 20 years ago? What was the cool shit 20 years ago? Let's try and watch some E3 from 15 years ago, because that shit is still fun, because you can be like retroactively excited for the shit they showed off that never came to light, or the shit that changed and became completely different. There's a lot of cool takes you can have on it now that aren't our country is in a fucking disaster on like 6 different fronts. And reminder, those were the fucking Bush years.
Sorry, guys. All right, well, let me. I'm gonna get off the topic. Let's talk about PlayStation 5 reveal stuff.
Okay, so I have a list of all the games that were revealed. If we want to just go through all those,
yes, please. Yeah, we talked about how the design is extremely pro Black Lives Matter. Wait, can we talk about the console? Not design one thing, but they have 2 versions.
Yeah,
the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition, which doesn't have what I'm assuming is a Blu-ray drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you see pictures
Blu-ray
of the horizontal mode?
Yes.
System? Why is the disc drive on the bottom?
I don't know.
The crap out of me,
dude. I don't know. It looks weird.
Say that, and now that I'm thinking about it, the Xbox One X has it on the bottom. I'm talking the Series X, but the One X.
No, but the Series X also has it on the bottom, and it's. Oh no, it would be on the side if you turned it sideways, though.
Yeah, it's like in the middle.
It'd be on the top. Yeah. Anyway, so that's interesting that they're doing the thing that the Xbox One or S did, where they had an all digital version. So they're doing a weird discless, which means definitely we're gonna have 2 price points. Let's do a before we get to the games. Everybody wager what you think the price points will be, since we're gonna have
250 for the discless, 300 for the regular one.
Really?
No
way it's gonna be that
300
low.
for the discless, 350 for the other one, normal one.
4 and 500.
No,
yes,
that's what I'm saying.
4 and 5, yeah.
And Sony will not sell a console at $500.
They sold one for $600.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't. If you remember, Xbox fucking thrashed them to hell on sales because of that shit.
You know what, though? I think they haven't released the price because the Series X hasn't released the price yet.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be playing that game of chicken all summer long.
As long as they can.
There's a lot of people on, and I don't look at a lot of it because it pisses me off and upsets me.
The PlayStation 4 was $400 at launch or $300?
$400 at launch, because I was at GameStop.
It's going to be $400 for the cheap one, $500 for the expensive one.
Yeah.
That's what's
so. So in the internet box where I sometimes go whenever I am feeling suicidal,
I watch Candace Owen videos.
so there's a lot of gamer discourse about how the Xbox Series X has a more powerful processor in it, and so the games are, and like what I hate about this discussion is, one, it really likes to, for the people who play PC games and are really into the Aryan master race jokes that the PC gamers like to tell about themselves. It gets them really happy because like, oh yeah, we're the PC Aryan master race.
I don't think they say Aryan.
I do, because honestly, that's what it is. But they don't say it because they know that if they say that, it makes them bad.
Yeah.
So I say it because it's like, it's still the same if you don't say it. It's like going on a completely racist tirade, but like replacing the N-word with black people, and it's still the exact same amount of racist because it's the content.
We're talking about PC video games and console video games, aren't we?
Right, yeah. So PC video games, like, I don't like PC gamers because they're bullshit.
And you hate PC culture.
And PC culture sucks.
I do hate PC culture. Oh, hey, TJ.
Yes.
Go on the Epic store and get Ark Survival Evolved for free.
No, that game is a fucking nightmare.
You should play
that.
Do you get on Epic too?
I refuse to ever even start that game up.
Week, so I'm getting it.
My unemployed, Matt, roommate in college fucking had that game and literally spent like 48 hours sitting in his own fucking like swamp ass playing that. Yeah. I will never touch that video game.
So you're saying I should get that game?
Don't just point out Matt. Point out TJ as well. But let's say Matt also download that game because we can play it together and we can ride dinosaurs together. So I'm just saying we should get
okay.
Spanky also get it, even though I know you hate it.
I'm gonna phrase this fight between PS5 people and people who want the Series X.
Yeah,
they're talking about their specs. I'm gonna phrase it like a tweet, and I have to actually clap because I'm using the clap emoji.
Okay.
I don't care about specs. Just give me fun games.
Yeah. We can talk about the games. But I do want to bring up one thing about specs before that, though.
Yep.
Spanky talked about how people are like, oh, the CPU on the Xbox is like way faster than that. CPUs don't matter for shit for playing video games. Like,
not really.
Every basic CPU that's like quad core or whatever is going to be fine. It's the graphics architecture that's going to make a big difference.
Everything, right, is like, oh, the clock speed is faster on this on the Series
X. It doesn't mean it's going to look better.
No, here's the thing that people really just like. They really just don't want to pick up, and they did the exact same thing with the PS4 Xbone and Wii U comparisons. And the thing is that people who make cross-platform games will not give a fuck to make the graphics better on one. They might change the resolution, but the artwork and everything is going to be the exact same because making an like the thing is, if they made look the exact same on both systems, they're going to sell the exact same amount of copies as if they made it look 1 to 10% better on the more powerful system. Which means they had to spend that much more man hours to make that much more content to make it look that much more better for the exact same amount of sales. So there's no fucking point to do it whatsoever. The only way that you're going to see like the improvements is on content that's specific to that platform. So, for example, in PS4, you're going to have things like Uncharted and shit like that, and on Xbox you have Halo. Now, when we're going into Xbox Series X and PS5, when it comes to like exclusive content, I can't even name a single fucking game on Xbox that I give a fuck about anymore. Like,
Viva Pinata.
The new Gears looks like it might not be fucking terrible, but the last one looked that way and was, so I don't know. I also don't like Gears, so like that's still not a draw for me. But at the same time, on PS4, like if they make a Death Stranding 2, fuck yes. Like
Death Stranding.
Matt, let's talk us through the games.
All right. So first on the list is Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, which is about a girl we knew in college.
A girl who used to hang out with your old roommate.
Yeah. No, it's about it. It looks. It's got like Ori and the Blind Forest vibes, but it's not like completely different art style.
Yeah, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, or Kenna, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I think of Keno, which is the game that TJ likes to play at casinos.
Quinoa?
Keno.
I hate Kino.
Quinoa.
But Kena Bridge of Spirits, yeah, it's like I think I was watching the Giant Bomb stream and they were talking about this, talking over it, and they said, boy, it's like the PlayStation 5 looks like a lot of PlayStation 2 games. You know what I mean? Because it's like all these like third-person action adventure games. Because this Kena games really looks like it's an original IP. Mm-hmm. It's like an action platformer that looks straight out like Jack and Daxter type, classic. It looks really cool though. I'm excited for like a brand new game. It's like a new developer, that's the thing I'm really excited for, like a new IP, and it looks gorgeous. So.
Yeah, it looks great.
Cool. What else?
Next is Goodbye Volcano High, which is about a bunch of scalies.
Fuck yes! That game looks so good.
Not my cup of stuff at all.
It's Life is Strange with dinosaurs.
Oh I fucking love
Life is Strange. Guys, Life is Strange 2 is such a good video game. I fucking got moved to tears by the end of Life is Strange 2 because like it has all these so the thing about Life is Strange 2 is that you are a Mexican like 16-year-old kid and you've got your like 10-year-old brother and well you're second so you're first generation American whatever it is whenever their dad was the immigrant and like basically they're on the run from the police and there's a lot of options where it's like do you want to trust this guy, do you want to whatever, and I'm always like fuck no, he's probably a racist, and like the next thing he does is like try to send you back to Mexico and shit like that and build the wall and like vigilante justice and shit. So every choice I made in that playthrough was like fuck these people, fuck the police, fuck this and that, and at the end I got the fucking best ending I could ever hope for. Just like everything I did was just like I want all the police to just fuck off and everything. And at the end, I got this ending that was basically just like so cathartic to me. And like I've looked up the endings on like what would happen if you chose like the obviously good choices that a white person would make, and it's a shitty ending. So it made me feel really vindicated that I did so many violent things.
Yeah, so I want to talk about Goodbye Volcano High. The trailer looked really cool. It's got a really awesome looking art style. I actually have the blurb on PlayStation Blog where the developers talk about the game because the trailer was very much just like a cinematic trailer. It wasn't like kind of what is this game about? So this is for the past, they said a cinematic choice-based narrative game set in the final year of school for a bunch of dinosaur teens on the cusp of graduation and the rest of their lives. You follow them as they struggle to make their mark on the world, figure out who they're going to be, and try and find love, all before time runs out and they're thrust into the world of adulthood. But what they don't know yet is that time might be run out for real. I think it's a dinosaur apocalypse game based on the Goodbye Volcano High having a giant meteor flying through the logo. Might be robots run out for real. And time we're all feeling a little lost and scared, not sure what happens next. We're hoping the story resonates with people. They have a fantastic art team. It looks great. Their art is backed up by a fantastic in-house audio and music design by Boyfriend Dungeon and Winding Worlds Audio.
Okay.
We've also listed the vocal talent of local Montreal musician. We want to say blah, 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 blah. There was another thing I read. Oh yeah, just to really drive the point home. In our search to cast a non-binary voice actor to our main character, we found Lachlan Watson from the Chillin' Adventures of Sabrina, who's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it sounds like they're doing some really cool shit here. I'm really excited for that. I love narrative games, and I want to be a fucking sweet dinosaur teen. I'm looking forward to that. So, all right, next one.
Next is Ghostwire Tokyo. A PS5 exclusive Ghostwire Tokyo is a supernatural action-adventure game that takes place in a mysterious and lavishly detailed rendition of Tokyo.
Was this the game that looked like... Was this the game that looked like it was like the next like PT game or Silent Hills game? No, there was a Capcom game. There was the
Yeah.
Capcom's new game that looked like that. Yeah, I don't know much about. I think we've heard a little bit about this, but the idea
one's
is that like there's like
I think everything's-
spirits in Tokyo.
I think everything's orange, and you're going through alleys and shit.
It
It
looks
reminds
incredible.
me. It reminds. I can't remember exactly what it reminds me of. But it reminds me of something. You know what it kind of reminds me of is the end credit scene of Kingdom Hearts 3 when you're in real life Tokyo.
Yeah, so apparently the story is a paranormal event causes 99% of the city's inhabitants to disappear, and it's up to you to find out what happened.
So it's like The Leftovers, my favorite TV show.
Mm-hmm. And my favorite thing to eat.
Leftovers. Love them. All right. So J.K. Rowling, what's going on with that?
So next is Horizon Forbidden West. This is an eagerly anticipated follow-up to Horizon Zero Dawn. It looks very pretty.
Is it just in the same world as Zero Dawn, or
It
is
looks
No,
like
it's the same
sequel.
character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aloy.
Aloy?
Aloy? Yeah, I need to play that first game.
So
Guess what?
the first game
Horizon
is
Zero Dawn is coming out on PC on Steam, summer 2020.
Oh, really?
So you
So-
might
Well, I also have a PlayStation 4 in the closet.
so
and you'll be able
Horizon
to play
Zero
it
Dawn
now.
has an
You gotta
extremely long introduction sequence.
Yes, it sucks.
I've literally never played past the first expansion. Like there's cities and cool shit, and I've seen people play it, and it looks fun. But I've done the whole hour and a half long intro where you're a kid. And
It
you
is
get
a
out
long ass tutorial.
But then when you get into the first zone, when you're an adult, you get out of the starter zone in the first zone, it's still just another gigantic starting zone.
Mhm.
And it takes maybe 7 or 8 hours before you finally get to just go out into the fucking world and play your video game. And I'm still at 6 hours played, so I've never gotten there.
That is a huge problem with that. What was it? No, not Dark Age. What is it? Dragon Age, the new one.
Inquisition.
It's the same thing where it's just this humongous opening area, and then I get 8 hours into the game and I still haven't progressed past the opening area because it's just they make it too wide at the start. Like with the opening with the Horizon Zero Dawn, it's this just super long tutorial on how to do everything, and
it's
very
all
methodical.
So it's I'm a kid now. I got to learn my kid's story, and then I'm slightly older now. I do this story, and now I'm an adult. I got to do this story, and then I got to go to talk to these people, do that story. Then oh no, these people had something go wrong. Now I got to help them do that story, and now I can go to the starting zone.
So that's the Fallout 3 method of doing a tutorial.
Yeah, where it's super long.
Honestly, it's longer than Fallout 3 by quite a while. Because Fallout 3, it's a pain in the ass, but I think it takes an hour, pretty much exactly.
It's the Skyward Sword thing. Nothing's as bad as Skyward Sword.
I don't know, man. I mean, Skyward Sword is
the
at least
first 8 hours of that game is the tutorial.
People are very upset, and this is I think specifically I'm genetically. People were like, why are we in the sky and everything is so ugly and brown? And I'm just I'm colorblind. Everything is fucking ugly and brown all the time. I am not put off by this at all. So I think I have a better appreciation for the sky world than anyone else who's played that game.
Okay. Regardless, it is a really good game, and I've seen people play farther in it, and my brother talked about it. He's played a ton of it, and he was talking about he actually literally said the same thing to me when we were talking about the release. He was like, I sure hope this game doesn't have as slow as the start as the first one. I was like, yeah, I know. So, but yeah, it's incredible. You're fighting robot dinosaurs that have taken over the Earth. Basically, it's super post-apocalypse.
Yeah, and as someone who is fucking gung ho in love with robots, that part of the game, when I finally got to that part, I played for a solid 2 hours straight. Still not out of the second starting zone, but I just was I have to find every different robot I can find, figure out how to do the way to take them down and how to hunt. I love it. I love the robots and the designs. Just I couldn't keep going.
All right, let's move it on.
All right, next is Bug Snacks, which is a game where
that's a game I want to play the most.
literally turn into what you eat, And I don't know what the actual gameplay is, but I'm in. I'm fucking in on this concept.
So this is the same team that did Octodad.
Octodad, which is free in the itch.io racial justice bundle right now.
Nice.
Well, not free, but you pay $5 and you get 2,000 games.
It's basically each game is basically free.
Yeah, it's so cheap it's free, and you're supporting a good cause. But so here we go. Bug Snacks, a first-person adventure. You play as a journalist who receives a mysterious film from the disgraced explorer. Oh my god, a lot of storyline here, but I want to know what the actual gameplay is. Let's see here. So you're like, I guess you're an outsider in the world of Bug Snacks, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. They don't give you any details in this press release.
Nope. The trailer didn't have any hints of gameplay either, but it looks fun.
They are remastering Demon's Souls, which is a game that I hate. So I am not excited for that at all.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this list that I'm looking at just has the exclusives on it, because the only game that matters, Stray, is also not on this list.
Is Resident Evil Village not on there either?
It is on there.
Okay.
It is the next one on the list.
Okay.
It's a new take on the classic
series. I'm going
series.
to see if we skip any other ones, too, because I'm just looking at all the...
Yeah, there's a couple that I think we missed.
There is a lot on here, but we'll keep going. So go ahead.
Resident Evil Village is a Resident Evil game that takes place in a little kind of isolated village.
It's Resident Evil 4 2 is what it is.
But they're fucking witches and werewolves, and it looks like it takes place in like the 1800s or some shit. It looks fucking awesome.
Was Resident Evil 4 the one on Wii?
On GameCube.
Well,
I believe they did have it on
I think
Wii.
I played it on the Wii.
Yeah.
But okay.
So I am a big fan of Resident Evil. I am a big fan of Resident Evil. 1, 2, 3, and Code Veronica are all just iterations on the same game, getting better each time. Code Veronica is a little boring, but I would say functionally it's the same. Then 4 came out, and it was more of an action-y game than the tank controls kind of game that came before it. And people loved it. I still think I liked I like 3 and Code Veronica better, but it was good. 4 was good. Then 5 came out. It was a piece of fucking shit. The only way to play that video game is co-op because the AI is so fucking bad. Because it's always 2 people, right? So you have this person with you named Shiva, and her AI is so bad she just immediately blows through her entire ammunition clip and is like, "Toss me some ammo." So your only choice is to give her ammo so she can blow through it for no fucking reason, or to not, and then she just gets killed, which causes a game over for you. It's a bad game, but the cutscenes are fucking awesome. Wesker, one of the craziest weird bad guys in any video game series ever, turns into a volcano. And that's cool. 6, terrible game, terrible story, but there was a mode in it when it launched called Agent Hunt, which was broken as fuck. And I've probably told the story before, but if you were playing connected to PlayStation Network or Xbox Live, you were automatically enrolled in Agent Hunt mode, which allowed anyone who had already beaten the mission you were currently playing to join your game without telling you they have joined your game. And they join as a monster.
That's awesome.
So there was this one map where you're walking up a foggy mountain, and most of the enemies are pterodactyl bad guy things that fly out of the fog, right? Well, when you join that game on Agent Hunt mode, you get to be a pterodactyl, and you can just fly all around the map, do whatever the fuck you want. So I would just fly to places where you couldn't where it would be totally fucking stupid to expect a bad guy to be there. You've killed everything and whatever, and I would immediately do the fly out and snip their head off kind of fucking one hit kill attack. It was so broken, but it was actually really fun to do the Agent Hunt mode. And then Resident Evil 7 I haven't played.
Yeah, I haven't either. I really want to, but then I forgot about it.
It looks fun, but I haven't played it.
So let's talk about.
I feel like just with 7, I felt like I should be playing it in VR, but I don't want to have to buy a PlayStation VR when I already have the 5 thing. I don't know. So next is Deathloop, a stylish actioneer. Deathloop
Interesting.
will make players run for their lives and try to escape time. There was a lot of time loop stuff in this presentation.
This is made by Arcane Studios, who made Dishonored.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that game looked really stylish.
Yeah.
But it says it's also making console debut this holiday, so it's going to be on PC as well.
Nice.
I'm assuming it's going to be on the Epic Games Store, just because, of course. So it is. Yeah, it's like it's something about like your assassins trying to chase each other, and then you die, and then you start again.
It sounds like the story of the most dangerous game, but in reverse, because everyone on the island is trying to kill you.
Yeah.
But you try to survive. There's also this sniper that just wrecks your shit all the time. And then no matter how many times you die, you just end up coming back to life and having to deal with the whole island again.
Yeah, that part got a little like Westworldy too, like just.
But the island is like full of like buildings and shit, so it's not like not like the most dangerous game, which is all like jungly and whatever.
So I want to talk about a game because I was looking at a list, and this is one that jumped out to me. But there was a game shown called Little Devil Inside. Did you guys remember the trailer for that one?
No,
I don't know.
That's the stealthy one.
No.
Well, then this thing that describes it as a adventure game with a unique aesthetic features a mix of stealthy exploration, direct combat, and even hunting wild creatures like dragons. Lied about the stealthy part.
Well, it's not a stealth game. It's just a game. So the thing that I learned about this, because I want to, is it looks really cool. I thought it was like a weird like Monster Hunter game because they kind of showed you like fighting these big monsters out in the field and stuff. But actually, I looked this up. There is a Kickstarter project of this in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
It's a South Korean game developer called NeoStream. Just so you know, they've reached their final stretch goal. So this game will be coming out on Steam, PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U. So you know, it's gonna be on the Wii U. I bet it is for sure. I love Kickstarter. Like, there's like, yeah, we're gonna make a game on the Wii U, and then okay. No, but so they have a huge amount of details about what this game is about on their Kickstarter, and I think it's kind of the same. But
I feel like I should shout out though. Use Your Words had a Kickstarter when they said they were going to put it on the Wii U, and they fucking did. They literally like the Switch is out, and there's no one going to fucking play this on Wii U, but we said we were gonna, so we did.
So the Little Devil Inside is a 3D action adventure RPG game, which is why I was like stealth. I don't know about that, but I think maybe they're just talking about the trailer because I don't think there's a lot in this. But so it sounds like you are a guy, like a professor hired by a university to go and like explore this world and learn and get information, like an Indiana Jones type character. But instead of like archaeology, you're like looking up like monsters and various creatures in this, open world, basically. I don't know. If you look at the Kickstarter for it, there's a lot of deep information. And the combat mechanics look very like hack and slashy. You're fighting little monsters, and I guess there's like it says there's going to be co-op like Borderland, friend invite, co-op mission, random encounter with other players within the game. Who knows if that'll be in it? It's a Kickstarter, but interesting that it was originally a Kickstarter. But it sounds like you're gonna have like looting to get items and stuff. It just seems like a Zelda type game, I guess. If that makes sense.
And here's a fun headline from today. Little Devil Inside dev apologizes for racist enemy design and will change them.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
I would say that enemy design is, I could see how you think it's racist. So, but I mean, it's also, you got to think though, like they're South Korean, to them that, what I mean? Like
different cultural
they obviously didn't mean for it to be racist, but it does look racist, so they're going to change it. So, I mean, it's fine.
So the next one on my list is Returnal, which is a stupid name.
Returnal.
Yeah, it's like Return and Eternal. It's another time loop game.
Sony developed by formerly arcade-focused Housemarque, features crash landing on an alien planet where the protagonist keeps reliving the same events, including her
Wait,
death.
whoa, what's the name of this game?
Returnal. It's Return AL.
Oh, okay, because I spelled it Returnal like eternal.
Yeah, no,
okay.
It's more Return than Eternal.
Yeah, so Returnal was the game that I was like, is this Death Stranding?
Yeah.
Like, the trailer is just insane on this thing.
It looked interesting. It's another time loop, and
Oh no, this isn't the Death Stranding one. That was
that you're talking about the one with the astronaut and the little girl.
Yeah,
that was fucking weird.
This is the weird astronaut. This is the weird space game with lasers.
Space lasers.
Space lasers and aliens.
Laser Poe.
Side-scrolling action with roguelike gameplay into a third-person shooter is what their blurb is. It's a really bad blurb.
Wait,
ending.
side-scrolling action?
No, they said side-scrolling action with roguelike gameplay into a third-person shooter.
I don't know how that works.
There's platforming, I guess.
Okay, so it's Metroid Prime.
Yeah, but I guess.
Except for third person.
Yeah. It looks really interesting, but you're right. It is generic. I mean, it looks great. Jesus, it looks good.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love how I keep looking up Wikipedia pages for all these games, and they all just say, was announced at the PlayStation 5 press conference.
Speaking of looking good, we can talk about Gran Turismo 7. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, now moving on to the next one.
Is it the same as all the other ones? Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I guess it turns out it's really easy to model good-looking, solid pieces of fiberglass and metal.
Here's the thing about cars and why car games are pretty easy to make look good. Every car you see in a movie since like 2006 has been not real. Unless someone has been in it and driving it, the car is fake. Because it is very easy to just put a bunch of rendering hours onto a thing that is a solid piece of metal that reacts in very predictable ways.
Well,
especially doing it in real time, like video games do, it takes obviously more power. So we've had very, very realistic fake cars since 15 years ago, but to do it in real time, like on the PS5, is more of a newer development.
Yeah, it's actually so prevalent because the camera technology that Hollywood studios and filmmakers use now has the tracking data of the camera movements just automatically digitized with the film. Mm-hmm. So you can just put anything in there and it'll automatically track the camera in the 3D. Yeah, it is so easy now with the technology to just throw CG into everything. Yep. Which is why, But anyway, the cars look good. Moving on. What's the next thing? Cars look good.
Jet. Jet the Far Shore.
Jet the Far Shore. God, these games. Putting a colon in your game. It's
a spacefaring exploration title from Sword and Sorcery. I don't remember this one.
Oh, yeah. No, this was that Sword and Sorcery team.
Interstellar scout who's been slumbering for over 1,000 years. You explore mythic ocean world. It's Subnautica.
This trailer was extremely light on any sort of detail. It just looks like you're doing space landing.
Yeah, there's some space shit. And
all right, moving on.
So now the rest.
You got too much to talk about.
It's got all these listed as the rest of the announcements, so I'll just go through them, and if you want to talk about one, stop me.
Wait, we got Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
That's in there.
Okay. I have not seen much about it except for I like the Ratchet and Clank series, and there's apparently Girl Ratchet, which is really fucking cool.
Ratchet.
I've never played a Ratchet.
It's Ratchet. I'll bet.
So when I'm hearing James Arnold Taylor as the voice of Ratchet, as he always has been, to me, it's Tidus and Clank.
Yeah, exactly. So I have this Ratchet and Clank like the first games that were on PS2, and I have a friend who loved the I never played them, but loved the PS2 Ratchet and Clank. So I'm like, well, come over and we'll play through them, and we did. And as soon as Ratchet started talking, I'm like, I can't not hear James Arnold Taylor as Tidus. Like, I can't not, because of how many fucking hours I've spent playing Final Fantasy X.
It always comes back to Final Fantasy with you, TJ, and Spanky.
I won't go easy on you next time.
All right, let's not talk about it. Just
All right.
yeah, it looks really cool. But all right,
it
moving
does.
on. Sorry.
So there's Project Athea, which we don't really know much about.
Oh yeah, so that is the weird Square Enix. I was like, is this the next?
Well, everything comes back to Square Enix to you, John.
Matt brought it up, but it was a Square Enix game. It looks like I thought for sure it was going to be like the next Tomb Hunter game. Tomb Raider, Tomb Hunter. That's the Chinese knockoff. Tomb Hunter.
Oh yeah,
on like a mobile phone game. Yeah, no, they didn't show much other than it was like a lady like running around in a wilderness, maybe in the future. I don't know.
Yeah, Spider-Man Miles Morales. We kind of already talked about that. Solar Ash.
Solar Ash. I wanted to talk about. So that game looks fucking sick, dude. The trailer for that. They're making me put in my date of birth to look at it. But
oh man, I hope it focuses. Angel Tomb Hunter.
Yeah!
Angel Tomb Hunter free with like obviously downloaded from the internet. Sexy girl with big boobs model. Explorer ... Oh, here's one that says weaponry. It's just like her pointing a gun at some shit. Encounter, secrets, danger.
Now, does it have in-app purchases?
No, it just says get. There's no like. The only disclaimer is offers iPad app, so there's an iPad version. Here, okay. 3 years ago, there's one review, 2 stars, from Hagi6. I downloaded this game hoping for something like Tomb Raider, and it is nothing like it. The controls are very difficult, and I immediately removed it from my device. Good thing you're not wasting storage space.
So yeah, Solar Ash
looks fucking beautiful.
Looks fucking incredible. It's the team that made Hyper Light Drifter. I think that was like a 2D game, right? No,
it was like a top-down kind of like Breath of the Wild style game.
Yeah, this game looks fucking awesome. I love any game that goes balls out with these trippy visuals, and so I'm looking forward to what Solar Ash. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. We got lots more to talk about.
Next one is Stray, where you're a kitty cat in a world where all of the humans are gone and it's just robots and
cats.
Robots and cats.
And basically that's a game that somebody hacked into my brain and made the perfect game for me.
Yeah, when I saw this trailer, I was like, what is this game? A, it looks incredible. And then B, they're showing like the cat on the screen. I'm like, oh, you get to play as a cat. And it's like, fuck yeah, you get to play as a goddamn cat in like cyber future Tokyo, whatever the hell it is.
Some cat forming.
2021, that's coming out. So the console exclusive. So it'll be coming out on
there's
PC
already a Steam page for it.
Yeah, cool.
The next one we haven't talked about is Oddworld Soulstorm.
I don't care about that.
I didn't play the Oddworld one.
It's another Oddworld game,
I guess.
It's integrated though, so it's gonna
I like Oddworld. I played Abe's Odyssey or Abe Exit, whatever the fuck it was. I played them.
Wait, can we talk about the fucking way that they opened the press conference with Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yes.
Hey, guess what? GTA 5 is going to be available as well. Like, what was that shit?
I have not played a Grand Theft Auto since San Andreas. So none of it, like, to me, honestly, that's kind of cool. But like, I still have no idea why they opened with that. Because like, there's the only audience for that is me, because the PlayStation 5 will play PlayStation 4 games, like in the same way that the one plays 360 games. They will get added the support like piecemeal.
They're not going to continue adding, I don't think. I think they're going to do, once they actually get the fix to get their 100 or so games, I don't think they're adding. But we also don't think it's going to launch.
It's also like the most popular PS3, PS4 game, like of like 4 years in a row or some shit. So we'll see. But yeah, for me, like this is a target for me, for someone who, like, I played San Andreas when I was a teenager and then never played a Grand Theft Auto game again because I just didn't, because I had played San Andreas and Vice City in 3, and I felt like I got it. I understood the game. I just didn't buy anymore. I did play Saints Row. That was fun. It was basically just like wackier Grand Theft Auto. And then now it's like, maybe I should go back and play some of those Grand Theft Autos. Like, whoa, we're going to start the whole fucking conference for specifically Spanky, who just never played these games. So,
yeah. Let's talk about Godfall. Remember that game?
I remember being very confused about the sound choice that they, like the music choice they made.
They were like, let's play a Drake song over this like futuristic action adventure game. I'm playing the trailer right now in the stream, and the thing that bothers me is this guy's cape keeps clipping through his weapon, and it's like, okay, well, they didn't fix that in the PlayStation 5, but it's a Gearbox game. I'm trying to think of what this game is.
I don't know.
And this game to me is, hey, Destiny was big. Let's make like a Destiny but action fighting game.
Yeah, they're calling it a third-person brawler.
Yeah, they're trying to make Destiny, but a third-person brawler type game.
Yeah,
I have zero interest.
It seems incredibly generic to me.
It looks very good graphics-wise, although the frame rate is really bad in this trailer. But work in progress. But yeah, they showed this off. This is from the PC gaming show, so maybe it runs better on the PlayStation 5. Anyway, what else was there?
Pragmata.
What?
I'm more of a revolutionary than a pragmata.
I'm more of a PragerU guy than a pragmata guy.
Oh no.
No, so this was the one that I thought was like a Kojima Productions game, because there's a guy
really trying to be.
And then like it's just like empty world, and you're like, what's going on? Then there's this little girl and a ghost cat, hologram cat.
Capcom has a fucking... All right, so I will go on the record and say that I need a hologram cat.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Also, Capcom has made lots of games that are just like fucking weird as shit, and they're almost all Japanese exclusives.
Yeah. So this looks weird as fuck. They're like there's like I don't even know what's going on here.
And the girl does like robot telepathy, and then there's a like green net protection thing, and then at the end they're on the moon. That's the game.
I don't anyway, looks weird. All we got was a CG trailer, so who knows what it is.
Yeah.
All right, what else was next?
NBA 2K21.
Oh my god, the fucking trailer for that was the best.
It was just think Zion Williams. Didn't see that one.
It was just Zion Williams, who plays for the Pelicans, like in CG, super sweat tech, like CG, just him alone in like a dark basketball arena, and like not even shooting a ball, just like moving, and they're like 2K21's coming out. Like, really? Nothing? They didn't even have any like thing to show off the fucking graphics or anything. I was
well, it's because there's social distancing, so there's not people allowed at the court right now.
Next on my list is Astro's Playroom.
Yeah, that's literally the one I was looking up. Astro's Playroom. So this is like a sequel to the Rescue the Bots VR game, or what was it called, TJ?
Oh,
Astrobot.
Well, I think Astrobot, but there's also Playroom and Playroom VR. It's the same guy.
Yeah. So, but this game was like, okay, so we're making another like PlayStation 2 type like action platformer. Like it looks cool. I'm there for a colorful.
It kind of reminds me of Super Mario Odyssey, and I really love the robots. I am loving all of the robot content that's on the PlayStation. So like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, this game looks really fun and cool, and I'm excited to play it. And give me a good action platformer. I'm happy.
Matt, does that mean that the Sackboy one is next?
Yes.
Yes. Let's talk about yet another action platformer that looks like it would have been on the PlayStation 2.
Honestly, thank God for Yooka-Laylee, because even though the game itself wasn't that great, it was a definite thing that told the market people that People do actually want high budget action platformers.
Yeah, I think that's more of like a Hat in Time type thing, because Hat in Time was actually good.
I didn't get it because there was some bullshit that racist garbage or something like that.
JonTron's voice.
No, that was in Ukulele.
No, but he was also in Hat in Time.
Oh, that's right. And they didn't remove Hat in Time, and then all the fucking shitlords were like,
well, to be fair,
it's a much better game because they didn't cave to PC culture and they kept the great JonTron in the game.
To be fair, I think the game had already come out. And so, whereas Ukulele, they hadn't come out yet when all the JonTron stuff happened or something like that. So they were able to remove it. I don't think the Hat in Time people had a chance to remove it. They could have patched it after the fact, I suppose, but...
So why are we getting a Sackboy game that isn't Little Big Planet? Because the whole
I
point
know.
of Little Big Planet is you can make your own shit.
I know. And looking at the trailer, he's collecting those like orbs that look like they have like pieces in them, like little set pieces and stuff. So I don't know. Like I was like, is this in? Did they make this game in dreams? Like what's going on here? Like
they probably did.
Like anyway, so I don't know. We don't know much about it other than it looks like it's just a 3D platforming adventure, or you can do co-op. So, any other ones, Matt? I'm looking at my list
next
here.
on my list, let me bring up the tab, is
I think it's
Destruction All-Stars, which is Fortnite plus Rocket League.
I can't. It looks cheesy as hell.
This game turned me off so much with its intro of being like, it looks so fucking esportsy.
I hate the intro. I hate the cheese. Game looks fun.
The gameplay looks awesome. Yeah, the whole trailer goes into this like that, but then when it gets to the gameplay, it looks literally like just car combat. Yeah. And then like there's a person like running around outside their car. It looks fucking
like Destruction
crazy.
Derby plus Twisted Metal plus the fact that you can get out of a car.
Yeah, it looks crazy. Like,
yeah,
I'm excited. Like, although what they're gonna do is they're gonna have like 100 cars all dropping the same map, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, battle royale mode.
Yeah, if they have like team modes and stuff, that'll be fun. But I don't know if it's just gonna be like.
If they keep it 32 cars or less, I think it'd be fine.
I guess I don't know.
Because heck, the arenas kind of look like skate parks too. So
they do look like skate parks. So you can do stick ass skate tricks. That would be sweet. Oh, wasn't there somebody in like a moped in one of these too, in part of this or something? I thought. Oh yeah, because they have like different cars that drop. I think somebody brought up the fact that maybe when you get smashed, you jump out of your car, and then if you survive running around long enough, you might get a new car to drop in for you or something. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff.
Now, the end of the trailer, it showed someone jumping on someone else's car that's moving.
Someone's hood.
Rip them out.
Yeah, there's some. I don't know. It could be cool. Like a car combat game. That's unique, at least to me. So I don't know how much else there is.
Twisted Metal.
That was the last one on my list.
And I'm just looking through my list to see. Oh, there was Hitman 3. That we don't need to talk about that. I mean, it's just another Hitman game. The Demon Souls remake is like, really? All right, like.
And then when they went to show off the system, I don't care about stupid peripheral accessories. I don't care that you're making a charging dock for the DualSense. I don't care that you've got a media remote. Show that on a fucking webpage later. I don't need that in a professional presentation.
Yeah. This is that Project Athia thing as well. It just was really, this looks very... Okay, so you have like some sort of like...
I think your stream is frozen for me.
Oh, okay. I don't even know if it shows up on Twitch. I guess I could look at our... I'm going to switch to our Twitch page and we'll explode. Oh my god, it's way frozen.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it said that my stream is fine.
There we go.
On Discord streaming. Oh no, it's got your stream currently has reduced audio or video quality. Well, it doesn't matter. This is Project Athia... I don't know. There's like a big drag. I don't know. It looks cool.
It looks pretty.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop streaming. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of the PlayStation 5 event. PC Game Show. Was there anything special announced in that? I didn't see anything huge.
I didn't see anything huge.
Yeah, let me just look at Kotaku and see what they
a lot of indie stuff.
Persona 4 Golden, I think, was announced.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Everything announced at the PC Game Show. Torchlight 3 is out on Steam. If you like Torchlight, if you like Diablo type games, that's cool. Oh, the DayZ developers put their new game out. Icarus.
Yeah. That one looks interesting.
First-person survival game with building elements and aliens and online co-op. I mean, yeah, I like DayZ, so you got me there. And online
in the
survival
trailer, it's
alien
one of the
co-op.
people running out of oxygen in their suit
Yeah.
and just falling over, dying.
Is DayZ the one that was an Arma 3 mod?
Yeah. Originally, I love DayZ. Evil Genius 2, which is cool that they did a sequel. That game was a game where you basically build a lair to like kill 007 who tries to infiltrate your lair. Basically, it's like a base building simulator. That was a really cool game. Humble Games. So Humble Bundle is now like a game publishing studio, and they're making a lot of indie games. But they put out a thing that you might be interested in, TJ. I don't know. Wait, were you a big Final Fantasy Tactics person?
I think I just want to interject and be really pedantic that if you have a publisher, it can't be an indie game because it's not independently published.
Well, regardless of that, that argument has gone way out the window because all the indie publishers use Annapurna Interactive as their publisher, so it's not independent anymore. But anyway, there's a game called Fey Tactics, which is like a pixel art, like turn-based strategy game that looks like Final Fantasy Tactics, which is coming out this summer, and I'll have a Switch release. So there's some cool stuff. Total War, Saga Troy, which is like Battle of Troy, but Total War game. I don't know if you ever played any of the Total War games.
I played the Rome one.
Yeah, so just like big, massive battles. And I guess this will just let you do the Siege of Troy, but rewrite history.
They have 3 different scenarios for that. I actually watched through the thing for that because they're trying to, because we don't truly know historically what happened. We kind of know from the stories. So they have 3 different scenarios for what is most historically likely to have happened. One where the Trojan Wars were really just like large siege towers. One where it's the typical idea of a Trojan horse, where it was like a gift, but then full of men, and then one that actually the third scenario is that the city of Troy walls were already broken down and this thing was already ready to just be taken over. So who the fuck was against Troy?
Was that the Phoenicians?
It was led by Odysseus, but I don't remember if he was Grecian or whatever. But yeah, so 3 different scenarios.
Let's talk about the
book club.
I just wanted to bring up one final game before we do book club. Actually, 2 games because there's 2 more in the PC gaming show that I want to talk about.
Achaeans.
Mafia Definitive Edition looks awesome. I don't know if you ever played the original Mafia game.
I've only played 3.
Yeah, I played Mafia 1 and 2 and 3. I love those games, but it's an open world game. But Mafia 1 is set in like the Godfather era.
Yeah,
times of like the 40s or like the 50s. Actually, no, that is that's the later one. Sorry, that's the
Godfather 2.
No, that's Mafia 2 is post World War II, and you come home and then you go to jail and then it's the 50s. No, Mafia 1 it was like the 20s, like Al Capone era. So it's awesome. Tommy guns and shit, open world. You drive around like old fucking Studebakers and shit. It's an awesome game. And the fucking videos of the remaster look awesome. And I'm excited to play that game again because I haven't played that in a very long time. And then there's another game called Twin Mirror that they showed a trailer for that, Spanky, I thought you might want to hear about. It's from Don't Nod Entertainment.
Yes, they did Life is Strange.
Correct, yeah. And so they have a new game coming out, I think, soon on the PC, and it'll be on the Epic Game Store exclusively for a year.
Well, and also not that it was
Twin
announced,
Mirror.
But
sorry, what?
Not that it was announced, but there was also the Command & Conquer Remastered. They showed some videos of that because that came out like past week or so.
Yeah, I don't know what Twin Mirror is, but it's Life is Strange Dev's new game. And it's not episodic. It's going to be on PS4 as well. Adventure, third-person adventure, investigative journalist. Sounds cool. I think my wife will be way into this.
My wife.
She likes
My wife.
investigation games. We like
too slow
LA
on
Noir, so... All right, we got to talk about it. Let's get to it.
So we are at like 2 hours. Do we want to push it? Do we want to push it to next week?
Or do we want to just do a special short episode tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
No, I got raid tomorrow.
Let's push it to next week. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
Fine.
Let's do it.
I did actually watch it all, but
I know I did too.
I didn't, but this. I mean, I've just been reading recaps because I watched all 2 fucking series of it. So I might actually just watch the season 1 finale. I'll remember the other episodes.
I was about to say, if you wanted to watch the last like 3 episodes of this, it's all really good. Like,
yeah, so I might do that this week since that'll be easy to do.
now Spanky, I'm going to give you some additional, not necessarily homework for this week, but I'm going to throw this out there.
Okay.
There are a bunch of comics that actually bridge the gap between Aang and Korra.
I actually have meant to read those. I have ADHD and reading anything is a fucking nightmare for me. So I've just been waiting for a day when my drugs are working really well at work and they have like, because the thing about ADHD drugs is some days I will take like 30 milligrams of Adderall, nothing. Like I could probably snort a fucking bucket of cocaine in my body to be like, neat. But when they work, they're like, fuck yeah, I'm getting shit done today. So I'm waiting for a day when I get that so that I can go and fucking read all the comics.
I've only read The Promise Part 1, 2, and 3. And I think Part 1 of The Search. And then there's a bunch of stuff after those too.
Are these available online or are they like print comics?
You can find them.
Okay.
Let's just say you can
wink,
find
wink.
them. Wink, wink.
If you have access to the internet,
there
are places you can go to order print copies of the comics
in
among
PDF
other
form.
ways. Among other ways to view the comic.
Okay.
And I actually do recommend reading The Promise. The Promise is really good. Anyway, we're gonna call it good.
Yeah,
I think we're done.
Yeah.
Let's end the episode.
This is a meaty fucking episode.
Dude, the fucking last episode. Did you see how long that episode is?
No.
I'm editing tomorrow. 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, not all of that's episode.
Oh, a lot of it is because we did Tony Hawk's before, and that was cut off separately.
Yeah, that was a
Right,
separate
we did
stream.
cut that off.
Yeah.
It was a super long episode, and this will also be long, so we need to
It
end
felt
it.
super long to me though, because I was like connected from beginning of Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it started at like 7 and ended at like 11.
All right, the website is borninthE80s.net.
Yeah,
Go
John
there,
_Danger on Twitter.
MattHaggMusic.com.
Black Lives Matter.
Hemsworthfeet.world.
HemsworthFeet.world.
Twitch.tv/May of May once I get my computer.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll write another thing
Okay.
this week. I'm gonna write my column this week. For real this time.
Bye-bye,
I'm sorry.
everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
I'm so hot I need to leave this room.